Welcome back to Cracking Baubles. We got your host all here. Today we got the first battleground in Canada, hosted by our good friend Silver Goblin. Join with me is my friend Cubi. I'll let him say some quick hi here.
Hello, hello. Ready to watch some insanely entertaining battlegrounds?
Insanely entertaining. There's also an upcoming, I believe, a calling after our battleground in Shanghai as well. So we're going to see how that's going to affect for our players getting ready for Pro Tour Yokohama. Without further ado, let's look at our meta split. We have 50 players that showed up to Silver Goblin. Mostly everyone's from locals. We didn't have too much people traveling, surprisingly. What's surprising you over here?
It's definitely the 4 Enigmas that's surprising me, because I myself did not even bring Enigma. So this meta seems as expected before the kind of downshift towards a more Guardian thing, but we still have a lot of Guardians. A lot of these decks are kind of Kayo and Kayo counterpicks. I was surprised to see a little bit more Florian seeing play, but it didn't make sense with the Rootbound Unban and Scepter of Pain. Interesting to see how that deck looks like.
All right. Well, we'll see what our players are going to show up. If Florian is going to be able to have an amazing showing, the Rootbound Unban is Nuts and Seed. And there's also a Terra. Is maybe the Terra cooking? It's a better Guardian with real D-Reacts. Let's see what they do. We have our first matchup, Fi versus Dash. Oh my god, it's the classic aggro matchup. Do you know much about this matchup, Cubes?
It is all gas, no brakes. Both players are racing. This Dash usually brings in, I think, Hyperdriver and just tries to boost, and they're usually playing either Talishar or the other weapon that gets 1 plus the number of times you've boosted.
Right. This the gun. The called already that thing. Plasma Barrel Shot. Plasma Barrel Shot's the correct name. So that's the thing. If you're going first, you have the advantage where you could preload 2 resource onto it. So that you arsenal, you send 4-card hand, and your gun comes in for quote unquote free. And Dash is the one going first after the dice roll. So let's see who's going to be able to aggro it out. We'll be going second as Fi, and this aggro matchup win him? Or will Dash's block 3 free resources and its insane gun damage win out?
Also curious to see if Fi is running Kunai of Retribution and Ornate Tessin or Searing Emberblade.
Yeah, we should.
The Ornate Tessin usually has a pretty good pop-off turn where you bottom your own Phoenix Flame and gain a resource from your chess piece to just get an extra card for the combo turn.
Yeah, Fi has so many free resources and such. The cards I'm thinking is Flame? Or I'm forgetting its name. Not Inflame Firebrand.
Flames Within or something? A Flame Call Awakening?
No, the one that you fire that burns within. It's the one that you discard a Phoenix Flame. Because it does cost 1, but you're able to just pitch. You're able to just break your chess piece and use it to discard and draw back a free card. It's a lot of free value. All right, Dash starting first, just swinging a big Berta for 4 over here.
Oh, brings in Talishar instead of Plasma. I guess that makes sense, actually, if this matchup goes pretty fast. Like, Talishar is a guaranteed to 4 damage.
It is guaranteed 4 damage. Unsure if he's going to be able to get his damage out here. So we have a big Berta coming hot for 4, blocked. The glove's already consumed by Fi over here. We saw the hand. There's an Inflame, a Lava Burst, and a blue. Doesn't have the best starters. I'm not sure if keeping the Inflame was the right choice. And a second Lava Burst. It's not the position you want to be in.
Not what you want to see as Fi going second here. Probably will have to retrieve a Phoenix Flame to get a starter. Unless there's
you can play Inflame. It's just 1 go again, though. It's not that valuable.
Yeah, not where you want to be on the Fi side here.
Not indeed. We're just looking at Adrian, taking a quick minute here, thinking what you want to do. Alright, looks like they are going to play that Inflame. 1 go again, not being able to fetch the Phoenix Flame is going to be sad.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate indeed. We see it over here in Flame when you attack if you have played another red, which he hasn't, so you're just losing value here. One go again. Let's see if Jabber just gave a Blade Beckoner right away.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then Emberblade, Searing Emberblade, classic follow-up, 3 go again. You need to pitch a card for that, but it's insane value. It's 2 resources for 3.
Alright, at least he still gets to send a Lava Burst for 5 after this. Well, after the Phoenix Flame.
Yes, Fi, indeed, since there's 2 Dragonic, he gets discounted by 1. So, discarded by 1 for each, so now it becomes a 5 for Flame. That makes complete sense.
I'm in for 1 go again. Expecting Jabber to just no block here, just take the damage and get ready to send a lot of boosting. Or Blade Beckoner.
Alright, the Phoenix Flame for 1 into the Lava Burst here. Alright, he's just blocking, getting as much value as he can. Very happy getting the Blade Beckoners here, because block 2, and then there's still 1 value left. You could still give 1 Blade Beckoner plus...
And, yeah. I would have liked to see the boots Blade Beckoner blocked here, actually. Because then he can just, like, fully cover the next Searing Emberblade and, like, make sure he gets the value off with his Blade Beckoner equipment. Starts the turn here with, I think that's Scramble? What is that card?
Oh, that's a Jumpstart.
Jumpstart.
That is Jumpstart. It's basically a zipper hit if you have a Hyperdriver. So in either Dash or Max, if you're playing Hyperdriver Focus Orientation, it's an insane value. You have a lot of 1 for 5s.
Yeah, I think, did he accept to, no, did he decline? Why is there 1 resource floating here? It should be 2, right?
I think he pitched a red.
Oh, okay. So he used the Hyperdriver to gain a resource. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, the Hyperdrive. I believe it's a red. The camera quality isn't that great. That's the next thing I'm looking to improve. Just using a webcam at 1080p may not be the best choice. See if I can get some fundings. Cuff, Silver Goblin, sponsor me.
All right.
All right.
Jumpstart for 5. Let's see what Adrian does here.
If Adrian decides to block... Oh, he's giving a Mountering Anger and his boots. I'm surprised. Mountering Anger is such a great starter. 1 for 4 forces your opponent to block, and you can buff your next. In hand, there's a Brand, a Rising Resentment, and a Flame Call Awakening. That's a zipper hit. That's insane value. Zipper hit for 5. Zipper hit for
5 and 5. Pretty good start here for Jabber.
And Jabber did not boost a second attack. I think he's looking just to arsenal a card here. So 3 card for 10.
3 card 10, yeah.
3 card 10. It's not bad. I understand now why he blocked with his Underloop last turn.
Yeah. That might have been a slightly awkward hand here, pitching a red. Not what you usually want to do as the Mechanologist player here.
You never want to see that. The only thing better that it could have been would have been if he had a zipper hit. Then he wouldn't even need to have pitched. All right. So Jabber on the life advantage here versus Adrian's okay looking hand. Curious how he's getting out of this.
All right, Brand with Cinder Claw. This card is so good. It's not even legal in CC.
I'd had it be banned because Syndra, Raft Retribution, all those Dragonic payoffs from Hunted are so good. What do you mean 1 for 5 that just deals 2?
Yeah. Crazy card.
Crazy card. All right, cashing in the Tearing Shuko and the Pouncing Paws for Crouching Tiger right away. That's going to be 2 go again.
Interesting here that he didn't block with the chess piece. I guess he doesn't need the resource and just wants a blow and block value, unless like there's other way to create a Crouching Tiger. If there isn't, then he will never get to gain this resource from the chess piece if he doesn't use it this turn.
He has a Rising Resentment. I think he was betting on his opponent not blocking Rising Resentment to get 1, and it was blocked. Rising Resentment has an effect on hit for the number of... you can banish a card from your hand if it has cost lower than the number of Dragonic links you have. Yeah, unfortunately, he's not able to do it.
You can still pop the chest here to gain the 1 resource, but If that was the plan for this turn, I would have liked to see the block for 1 here.
I'm not sure why the blood wasn't used, because right now it doesn't actually do anything else. Cashing in for the resource, and yes, that was 1 point lost in value of defense. That's gonna be 3 go again, fetching a Phoenix Flame in his deck. You're so right on that part. We're curious why he didn't block.
Yeah, might be a little mishap. Might be just like greeting for the Rising Resentment. It happens. But here, he's still in a good spot. Like, Jabber kind of bricked a little bit on his blues, because this dash deck is a very aggressive deck, but it usually requires 1 blue to pay for, like, the zipper hits and the one that costs 6. I forgot the name.
Throttle?
The one that costs 2, sorry.
Jumpstart?
The 2 for 6. I think it's Throttle.
Throttle's the 2 for 6. You also get Rev Up, that's discounted if you have a Hyperdriver. Zipper hit being used for defense. There's a little Phoenix Flame per 1, and we know there's a Lava Burst in Arsenal. And then Lava Burst, T-Bone had to
pretty wide turn here from Fi. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chain links.
7 chain link. There's no Mask of Pouncing Links there, and no Tiger Stripe Shuko to give the buff of 2, but that was an insane amount of damage. And yeah, you might not have any pressure on hits. Just removing your opponent's hand sometimes is the disruption you need to have.
Yes.
Look at his hand. He has natural go-agains. That's Mountering Anger. Oh, I can't see that card anymore. Mountering Anger, Inflame, Brandwood Cinderclaw. Yeah. Right. Let's see how Adrian's get out of the situation. Is he going to pitch his Brandwood Cinderclaw so that he can... Oh, he's playing it.
Yeah. This is a good spot for Adrian. He's ahead on life and has tempo here. Curious to see how this keeps going.
I'm curious why he's not pitching, because it's a yellow.
Yeah, it could be that his hand he can play needs a starter, probably. I don't know if any of the other cards are starters. I need to learn these.
Oh, it was a blue in hand. Sorry, I thought it was a red. Okay, no, this hand suddenly makes more sense. There's 1 floating left. He still has a Mountering Anger that if he uses correctly, he will get the +1 effect. So depending... And we see Jabber already blocking with all his Blade Beckoners. So the on-hit pressure... +1 value.
Yeah, making sure to get your full value off your Blade Beckoner. You don't want to die with Blade Beckoners being at -1.
Indeed. Well, he made the right choice to block 1 HP once with each of them so that he could jump block onto the Searing Ember Blade. Not sure it was the right call to give all of it right away. That'd be a Phoenix Flame for 2 go again. For 1 go again, he banished the Inflame.
Pretty explosive turn from the Fi. Pretty good follow-up after that big combo turn.
Not sure if playing the Inflame here or... Actually, no, you get the value from the Inflame. I would have preferred to banish the Phoenix Flame on Mountering Anger and Arsenal the Inflame so that you can have a 5-card wide turn. This is still 5-card, but the Arsenal damage potential could come and bite you back.
Inflame the Firebrand.
Yeah, Inflame the Firebrand. It's a 0 for 2.
Whoever does go to 1, he's gonna need to come up with a very, very, very strong turn here to keep up.
I believe Jabber just only gave his Blade Beckoner, so he has full grip in his hand. There is Zipper Hit.
Gas. Zipper Hit pitching a blue. That's exactly where we want to be as Dash. Let's see how much damage he can pull off here.
He has 3 resources, and the important part, he still has his Talishar. Talishar has 0 counter on it. He has an Arsenal, and he has 2 cards left in hand. That should be just full on gas. And looking at the Fi hand, it was all 2 blocks. I saw a Ronin Renegade. I'm not sure what the other cards are. Those are all 2 blocks.
Yeah. Right. Jabber thinking a little bit on how he wants to sequence his turn. Also has 1 card in Arsenal, so this is going to be a 5-card hand.
5-card hand with a free resource and a Talshar in the back. Looking, Adrian just said, you know what, I'll take the 4. Now we have Dive Through Data. It's another 1 for 4. The on-hit is not really relevant in Dash IE. It's more relevant in Dash IO. Well, Dash in Blitz and Silver Age, and Dash Database in Silver Age and Blitz. Dash base is the one that starts with the item, while dash database is the equivalent of dash IO, where you get to look at top deck and you try to play items from the top deck. So dash through data not that useful here.
Yeah, still a 1 for 4. Pretty good damage source on rate with like other attacks like leg tap.
The funny note is here, Jabber didn't even resolve the Hyper Datas on hit. It didn't even matter.
Oh,
Now we see
who needs
Rev up.
something? We're banishing.
Rev for 6, and he banished the crankshaft, putting back a counter onto his hyperdriver.
Yeah, one of the interesting cards here. We don't really see play in CC, but since this dash deck uses hyperdriver, card is has very good rate.
You can technically play those in Max as well. Just play a full-on boost version.
What is a Max?
Max? Max is the one that breaks into the bank.
Yeah.
And he has a clamp press. Recently in Gem Pack 4, they gave a Construct Nitro Mechanoid with the Max art instead. I'm super sad that Marvel is not shiny. The Blade Beckoner was given just a little bit too early, losing the full value here because the Talishar coming in for 4 after.
4. Yeah, this is the first Talishar swing, I believe.
The first Talishar swing. At this point, I think Adrian should just...
Might be the last one, so unfortunately, might be losing the value on this Blade Beckoner helm, but we'll see how the game goes.
At this point, I'm looking at Adrian's hand. I don't think it makes sense to block anything. You should just send the Ronin Renegade and the Blaze Head along. That'll be 3 and 4, forcing 3 cards from Jabber's hand. And Jabber will...
Especially... Yeah, now that Jabber does not have equipment in hand, we're not expecting the On the Horizon here.
Oh, that's not looking so good. He decided
I would have liked going to 1 here. I think 5 presents the better breakpoints in late game.
Yeah, you just need to somehow get to 3 chains long, and then you have Phoenix Flame that will strip the last card. Blaze Handling for 4, that will at least take 2 cards from Jabber's hand, and Adrian has to hope that Jabber with 2 cards is not going to be able to take back the tempo. But you could...
Seems a little unlikely because still has 2 counters on the Hyperdriver and Talishar. This is a little scary.
The best hand you can see would be a Rev Up or a Throttle with the blue, swinging for 6, gaining a resource and Talishar. That will be 10 damage off 2 cards. Jabber's giving 2 cards to block.
Ooh, blocking with a blue with Teklo Trebuchet 2000. Probably means he's keeping a blue here. This is not what you want to see. You don't want to see blues on the blockchain here as a Fi.
Pitching a yellow.
There we go.
He wants to keep the crankshaft back in his deck. He's considering maybe if he goes to second cycle. I don't think so. But it's a good decision to keep the crankshaft in the deck as it's a 2 for 4 yellow.
Yeah.
Right, Adrian.
Is he using the Hyperdriver to send the Talishar right after?
Yeah, the Hyperdriver already procced. He has 2 resource floating. A bit hard to see, but that is the Las Vegas one.
That's a 2 resource coin.
Yeah. It's
okay.
It's the poker card. On the Ace of Spades side, it's the 2 eyes are the resource counters. And on the other side, it's the US flag with 1 big circle. It's the one from Vegas.
Interesting. So this turn 4 and 4, Fi is probably going to have to give his whole hand, or actually 3 cards because he still has the 1 block on the Blade Beckoner helm.
All right, he has to block some amount of damage on the sword. This is very unfortunate because Adrian drew...
Oh, true. He still has 3 HP. I would have liked to see the Blade Beckoner block here. But maybe he's saving it for the last one.
Maybe he just doesn't know. Like some players are actually relatively new to Flesh and Blood because of Silver Age. But that was exactly the situation you don't want to speak yourself in, where I decide to block just so I have a little bit more HP. My opponent throws back all over damage, and I look at my hand, it doesn't convert. Oh, that is a Rev Up for 6 go again. 3 cards are committed on the block. Jump start for... Oh my god, fist bump.
Hence the fist bump. GG.
That was not what you wanted to see whatsoever.
That was pretty close. Was that exact lethal?
Even more, he still had a Talishar after.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it was doomed. Yeah. It was doomed. No, this was not the spot Adrian wanted to be. Well, we get to see players playing aggro matchups. On this point, To me, it looked like maybe the deck construction and a little bit of values were lost on Adrian's side, but it's Silver Age. For me, it's a new player I haven't seen before in our local meta, and all I can say is these little things is what distinguishes between a good player and a great player.
Also, I would like to also point out, as you said, this is the first edition of the Battleground, and it is also just 2 weeks before Pro Tour Yokohama and Calling Shanghai. So we had like a big mix of new players getting into Flesh and Blood with the Silver Age format. We had some established like Armory players, and we also had the pro players or competitive players prepping for the Pro Tour, since Silver Age is one of the formats for Pro Tour. So it was a good mixing pot of a lot of different levels of play and a lot of various players at different backgrounds. So it was a very fun event.
Agreed, it was fun. For most players, you join an event that's relatively cheaper than a Battle Harden, and you don't need to consume 2 or 3 days of game. You just go for 1 day, and you get a tournament pack. What did you get in yours, by the way?
Ooh, we don't. My tournament pack hits have been very bad. So far I've been to 2 events with tournament packs. First one I got Yellow Spears of Sorali, which you don't really want to see, and then the last one I got Blue Wild Ride, which I believe is probably the worst hit you can get.
It's funny, but I got the same cards as you, just different color. I got Spears Blue, and I got Wild Ride Red.
Yeah, well, those are significantly better. I wish I would have had those colors.
Oh man. Looks like we have our games set up for the next round. Let's take a look what is being presented.
Right, Riptide versus Ira. Ira on the play here.
Did you see our previous no wait, you casted it with me. Our ProQuest Yokohama over at Noodle Empires. Yeah. Riptide, our 5-0 player. Looks like they were tacked for the aggressive meta. Let's see if this Riptide is also going to be as tacked. Anything else you want to look out for?
Yeah, so Ira Riptide is usually a pretty interesting matchup because I believe almost all of the traps on Riptide trigger off of Ira because her second attack gets +1 and most of her attacks have go again. So I'm curious to see how effective these traps will be for this game.
So let's yeah, we're gonna see if Riptide has that many traps to counter meta, or is this Riptide more aggro? That's what's gonna be curious, and see if this Ira is more damage oriented or defensive oriented.
Yeah, every time I sit in front of a Riptide, I'm like, oh god, is this an aggro deck or a fatigue deck? You can never really know for sure.
Imagine fatiguing without a weapon.
That is true.
But yeah, we'll see if they can get there.
Fatigue by traps.
We'll see if we can get there. All right. Anything else before we look at our players side in?
Let's dive into this game.
Let's dive in. Battleground. Oh, we're still round 1 apparently. So sorry guys, I didn't update the records, but this is a 1-0 versus 1-0 round 2 match. There is 6 rounds of Swiss, so every single early match that you're playing matters for your ranking. The fun part of our battleground that happened was that it was top 16 would get a box. So even if you don't make top 8, you are incentivized to win as much early and keep on playing. We still have a little Phoenix Flame in the corner. Let me just hide that real quick.
Also, I have to point out how beautiful these Glyph Destruction Nodes playmats are. Incredibly gorgeous playmat to pick up as a wizard player. Future Blaze Sage deck coming up. Pretty excited for that.
It's just slightly not aligned, like LSS.
Yeah. Oh, it is majestic. Oops.
No, but Blaze is getting reprinted
yes,
for Sage.
Blaze is, but you won't be able to play the Glyph Destruction Nodes in Sage, unfortunately.
Oh man, imagine being about to play Glyph. Oh, a bit too good. I'm really hoping to see that we're allowed to play the Glyph playstyles, because having all those sigils and Glyph placed from Rosetta looked very interesting. I'm wondering if that's a reason why they had to ban Vozar. Is it because the new Swole Cilio is going to be able to abuse the glyphs?
Yeah, it is also a very, very powerful card, and we have a new wizard set coming up, which is just going to amp up Volzar even more.
It's a full arcane set again. All right, Bloom over here just decided to pass their turn, not letting Riptide reload or trigger any traps. looking over at the Riptide's gear, it's a bit. Oh, they're just passing their turn as well. Did they not have a single arrow?
Ooh.
All right. Well, that's
This
maybe where you
I
would have
would
wanted
have
to
some
pop.
alarm bells here.
Maybe where
Uh,
you would have wanted to pop their hoop merchant's hood, I believe. All right. Let's see what Bloom does over here. Kodachi 1, Kodachi 2. They have a full grip. I think this game might go to fatigue. Seeing that Riptide could trigger almost everything. That is a Kodachi for 1.
Kodachi for 1.
Is that an
Pitch-
underhanded? I forgot what's it called.
It's a punch above your own weight blue, which is a 0 cost 0 for 2 that you can pay 3 to bring it up to 5, which is a Kodachi activator, but it's also a 5 damage in late game. An
It is
interesting
a
blue.
you might, yeah, I remember this being used in Kayo.
And Lyeth.
And oh
Amazing
my
card,
goodness, those cards, Reval cards are so good. Pitfall Trap use over here. If you don't pay 1, you would take 2 damage. Bloom's opting to pay the 1, but the trap still triggers. So 1 damage was dealt. Bloom still has Arsenal and 2 cards. 3 cards? 3 cards in hand. 3 cards and Arsenal. See if they can go wide enough. Deal damage against Cedric over here. Oh, that's the...
Fang Vengeance for 0, go again.
I'm surprised Vengeance Swing for 0 is the play over here. Oh, nip it on the...
Busted by 1. Alright.
Nip it on the hill for 1. I'm not sure why, though. Frailty Trap?
Oh. She will get to draw a card from the Fang Vengeance.
I'm not sure if it made
With
sense to block the
Frailty.
Frailty Trap this late. I would have blocked it earlier to prevent the Kodachi damages. Because if you block it on the first one, you'd prevent... you can full block the... I guess it's a bit lost value regardless, because Kodachi...
Yeah, so far we've only seen traps so far from the Riptide side, so maybe this is a fatiguey build. Bluster buff
Bluster
coming in
Bluff
for 5.
coming for 5. Pitching a Scar for Scar. Oh, Bluster buffed down to 4 actually because it's from Arsenal.
Ooh.
I'm surprised for blocking. That's Virulent Touch and Laced with Bloodrot. Is the last card in their hand not an arrow? If it was an arrow, I'm pretty sure Cedric would have opted to reload off the Riptide trigger when blocking with Frailty Trap. Arsenal pass. All right, that was not the hand that was converting. Surprised they didn't decide to just Arsenal Virulent Touch, I believe it's called.
Yeah. Alright, Kodachi for 1, go again from pitching Flusterfist. Classic old little Kodachi for 1 from Ira.
Kodachi, and then Soulbeat Strike for 3.
No go again. So it seems like Bloom, she's playing around the traps, trying to not get go again or +1. Well, it has +1, but not get the go again. Blocks with...
It's a trap. It just doesn't trigger, unfortunately.
It still deals the 1 damage from Riptide.
It's Tripwire Trap. When this defense effects don't trigger when an attack hits this combat chain.
Oh, so it does trigger.
Oh,
Okay.
that's so rude. Soulbeat Strike won't have go again here. So
Yeah, I mean, it also doesn't hit, so it wouldn't have go again.
I mean, Bloom could have played Razor Reflex. So that's
That is true.
That's IP2? Not IP2, but staying with 2 cards in your hand and an arsenal at the end of your turn is a very feels bad moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's trying to pitch deck something or just playing a small value game and making it for more difficult. Like, because Kodachi is a good way to deal deck damage. It's not a lot of damage, but it's deck damage in some cases, which might be what she's going for. Maybe a little attrition gameplay here.
Right. I believe Bloom was maybe thinking that Cedric was going to present a Talishar instead as Riptide. And here, Cedric is just not converting that much. This is the first arrow reload. Death Dealer into Swift Water Shot. That's going to be 4 go again. Right? The question now becomes, does Cedric have any buff to trigger Riptide to reload and shoot a second arrow? Okay, that is Swift Shot. For go again, Blue may decide to block over here.
Oh, before we go again, 2 cards in hand still. So let's see what else Cedric is holding.
Right, I'm curious to see what's to play. 4 damage isn't that much, and there's no on hit. There wasn't laced with anything. Where we saw Lace of Bloodrot, one of the 2 left earlier on. Flying Kick is the block here. Flying Kick's one of those great cards. 3rd Chain Link for 7.
Yeah, it's one of the power cards in Ira in this format. It's one of the cards you want to usually use for your big pop-off turn.
All right, Searing Shot with Bullseye's Bracers, 5 on hit, lose a life.
Big damage here. Popping the gloves a little early on the first 2 arrows that we've seen. Can be a little scary in the future since Death Dealer does cost 1. Which is maybe a little bit hard to keep bigger size hands against Ira.
I mean, Garland of Spring is still there, and the important part is Riptide doesn't need to actually use a bow to reload an arrow. You just need to play a buff. And boom, you put second arrow. Like, efficient hands, play a Lace with Bloodrot, for example, and then reload Searing Shot and Searing Shot for 7. There's also, like, Dried Powder or 5.
So blocks 5. Makes sense. Adds basically a 0.5 value on each equipment to not take the extra 1 life.
Extra value. Now, just seeing when Bloom's going to cash in their Tiger Gears. Are they going to block with the chess piece or lose value from it? Scarf for 4 go again. Strategically being 1 life lower.
Perfectly calculated.
All right, that is another trap.
Yeah, it's the same one as previously. I forgot the name. Tripwire Trap.
It is Tripwire Trap. So, no on hits, this chain link, but there's no on hits here. So, 4. Bloom opting to break the chain to play a up and sticks and run. That is Kodachi for 6 go again.
Go again. Yeah, up 6, very, very powerful card in this format.
Bloom is forgetting. Oh, there you go. They corrected it because of Ira. Up and sticks is fun. I wish there was more cards to flick your daggers, and then you could re-equip with the up and sticks.
Yeah, we do have Danger Digit in this format, which I don't think it's very playable. And the new one from Compendium. I forgot the name.
For the one from Compendium, it's let me actually search. It gives +1 as a reaction, if I remember.
Yeah, it's +1 from a reaction, and if it hits, your dagger gets destroyed, I believe.
Find a card and put it on screen. Oh, it's because you have to pay 1 resource. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, dyed silk sleeve, attack reaction, pay 1, destroy a target dagger. It's part of cost, and it gives +1. If the attack doesn't hit, your gloves gets destroyed. I think it might be good actually to keep it, but it only targets target ninja attack action cards. So it doesn't work with the generics, it doesn't work with your weapons. So there is a downside, but if you build your deck entirely on ninjas, I think it might be good because you have access to up and six and runs. You can keep flicking your daggers and re-equipping them. You also have pick up the point. That's good. I don't think you ever got to play against Ira in LL when she had access to Needle.
No, well that was also banned in before it got released in CC. Right?
It was banned in CC, but LL you could play it for like 1 season.
Yeah, the Zephyr Needle build. Oh, true. I haven't played against it, but
it was oppressive. You would go Zephyr Needle for 2, Zephyr Needle for 3, flick the first Zephyr Needle, up and sticks and run, Zephyr Needle for 5.
Yeah, I remember. I believe Shoma Yamamura won the LL Battle Harden at Singapore and with Ira.
Legendary is insane. All right, look on the horizon a few times. We have a Arrow for 10, go again.
Use Swift Shot for 10.
Swift Shot for 10. Does it have it on it? No. Does it do something? Bring you to 3? So this is where I think Bloom's going to consider blocking 3 cards and give their chess piece as well. So that they full cover the 10, and when they're ready to pop off, they'll be able to use their entire ninja gear.
Yeah, even the ninja gear's a little bit scary to use into Riptide because of all of the traps in the deck. So have to carefully plan around that and not take too much damage from traps. It would be unfortunate to die from traps here. Also, one of the advantages of playing Ranger
blocking.
Ooh, humble.
Humble and Torrent of Tempo consumed. I'm curious on that.
Yeah. So yeah, one of the advantage of playing a Ranger, it's not having a weapon. So all of these decks bringing Blade Beckoner, you loses a lot of value into Ranger. Well, 1 per Blade Beckoner equipment.
You know what else isn't a weapon? Dragons. Gravy Bones and Dromai just having allies that are not weapons.
That is true.
It's a reason why it's so good. But the biggest problem is those 2 decks are a tad bit too slow and tad bit not blocking enough. Everyone in this format is pretty much running Blade Beckoners because it's blocking is a premium and there's not better gears. I would love to see LSS come up with different options.
So Crouching Tiger coming in for 2. Tarpet Trap is triggered here, and
Bittering Torn for 5.
To gain a resource for Bittering Torn for 5.
Bittering Torn for 5 over here. Easy block point 5. You can consume 2 cards because it is effectively 6, right? And another trap.
Yeah.
Riptide got a huge amount of traps in Compendium that are even buffs. So you can block with them or use it as a buff if you don't have a choice.
Yeah, it fixes a lot of the Riptide problems where you have a kind of like you want your pumps to line up with your arrows, you want your traps to line up at the right time, and then like if you draw just pumps and traps, no arrows, you have awkward hands. And so getting cards that actually pump and also is a trap trigger just like very fixes a lot of the deck building issues with Riptide.
It really does. Well, looking over here, okay, there looks like. Oh, I see what's happening. They just called Judge. The timer was paused. Thank you for the casting team for that. So it looks like they were just mentioning, oh, they blocked in the wrong order because the trap is not the reaction. That one is is a non-attack action card. One of the new ones from Penn.
Ooh.
So it looks like the judge is ruling to just let the revert happen over here. But they're just going to educate a little bit the players. It is still a competitive level game, not professional. So some mistakes happen, and it might be the first events for a lot of these people.
Yeah. I know at least there was a couple players that it was like their first rated event, or non-rated event, but competitive event.
I mean, they removed the ratings, but yeah, I get what you mean. It's in my heart, it's always going to be a rated event.
Yeah.
All right, so the revert happened, timer started again, they blocked and snatched for 4. I believe Bloom has no cards in hand.
So notably, the on-hit is not active because of the Tarpet Trap.
It's so good. Tarpet Trap stays until end of turn. Oh, Cedric had to read their card over here. It looks like Bloom just taught them something.
It's the next attack that hits.
The next on-hit, yep.
Trigger. Yeah.
Yep.
But since the first 2 didn't hit, so then it would still apply on the snatch.
Indeed. Scar for 4. Efficient damage. Chi Unleash blocking for 3. There's no more tigers from what I see. Bloom already blocked and destroyed all tiger gears. So that Chi Unleash just has no value left, unfortunately.
Yeah. So Klachi for 1, pitching Seek Unleash. Seek Vengeance.
Seek Vengeance? One of those great cards. Unfortunately, there's no Autumn here, so not sure why it's in the deck, except it's a 0 for 3. For Bloom's situation, I believe they're searching to try and win out by fatigue. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get there, and for Cedric here, they just need to find any
Let's
amount of damage.
take everything here. Just took 7 damage on this turn, so I'm expecting a pretty powerful turn on Cedric's side.
14 damage value, maybe? Ravenous Rabble.
Yeah, that's a good
Flipping
start.
Inertia Trap. That's 4 go again.
Yeah, so notably, it's good for Bloom to. She knows now that there's an inertia trap on top, so on her next hand, she will have to play around it and potentially try to not Arsenal card next turn.
Yeah, have to be very careful. And that's a Bolton Shot paid with a Bolton Shot into the Death Dealer.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh, inertia trap is well, actually, you can Arsenal inertia trap.
They're perfectly happy. They replace Bolton Shot with inertia trap. They can put in Arsenal. It's an extra 3 block value, and Cedric did go a bit lower. Lace with Blood Rot into Bolton Shot, so that is 7 on hit Blood Rot. On hit reload has go again, but Bloom just gave it into her hand.
Block 7. Stuffing Riptide's turn with an inertia trap. I think that's pretty good. Then you're making sure that this trap is not
Riptide has Arsenal their card. They have to break away the Driftbloom quiver, or else they're bricked with their
Potentially,
Arsenal.
might have to use the quiver here to not break if he draws a handful of arrows. So I like this. I like this a lot. Seeing the inertia trap on top and going, you know what? I'm not playing into this. I'm just gonna pass and make you Arsenal that trap.
Sometimes it's not your turn to play. You just say, yep, giving back to you. So this is where they have to cash in their Driftwood quiver.
Yeah, funny interaction I've seen is so I've seen a game where Riptide used the Driftwood to unbrick a turn, and then at some point opponent was at 1 life, and because the opponent was at 1 life and knows that the Arsenal was a trap, then he just went past. You can't load in arrows, you can't trigger your traps, and so therefore, if I play the game, I'm gonna lose the game. So just deciding to pass, and if you know a little bit of the rulings, after 3 consecutive passes, I believe we get a game restart with the time left in the round.
So it's just how the competitive rules work. Indeed, if both players decide to pass, then that game finishes. If there's enough time in the round, you are allowed to start. Well, you're supposed to start a new game. That's how you resolve draws in the context that there's still time left. If you're in time, then draws just become a real draw. But on untimed matches, it's actually funny. For the top 8, it's a whole different beast where the HP that you were at in the first game before restarting has an impact. It's not the first tiebreaker that says who wins the match, but yeah, it's funny interactions. I hope we don't need to see those on camera because it's just a little bit cursed.
Also, maybe after Ravenous Rabble revealing Inertia Trap, there might have been a line for Cedric to use Hope Hood's Merchant to opt to. Or no, is that the right card? No, that's Talismanic Lens.
That would opt to. Hope Merchant Hood would be to shuffle any amount of cards in your hand, draw back up the same.
That is significantly worse.
I mean, it would have helped Cedric unbrick much earlier on. That's what I was looking at their gear choices. Very surprised on turn 1 of Riptide not having destroyed it. That is 2 dry powder shot in hand.
Yeah.
And the new trap, what's it called? It's the blue one. Blue trap.
There's too many traps in Riptide. I don't know all of the names here.
It's Quickening Sand. The one that when this defense and attack would go again, you could tap a hero or an ally. So it's pretty good against Gravy.
Yeah, good ally hate there.
It's pretty good. It doesn't do much into the older heroes. I'm hoping that's what LSS goes for, is that the newer heroes, when they have once per turn abilities, are all going to be tap related. Like if they errata -IO to be tap, I think that would change everything. Not being able to do it once on your opponent's turn and once on your turn is pretty huge. All right, so Quickening Sand, create a Quicken token so that the arrow has go again. That's dry powder shot for 3 go again. Not sure.
Interesting.
Not sure if that was the correct reasoning to reload the dry powder shot face down. Because they're losing 2 damage value out of here. Looking at the hand is still a dry powder shot and a death dealer. Death dealer, draw a card, dry powder shot for 5. I would have preferred seeing it the other way.
Yeah. But this is still 3 going into 8. It's not. It converts the hand, which is pretty
And
nice.
Bloom has to give their entire hand because that's a frailty. All right. So the question becomes, how many cards left in both players' deck? Is it going to be done over in a fatigue matchup? Because Bloom is just non-stop block. Sending a tiger, it has go again. It triggers a lot of traps. I'm not sure that was the move.
Yeah.
All right, no blocks. Pass.
No blocks, yeah. Pass.
Right, that's just another quickening sand in hand. Looks like a Ravenous Rabble, quickening sand, and the other 2 cards just left the frame.
Yeah, one of the awkward things for Riptide is when you get full tempo and you draw a bunch of traps or cards that don't convert, it can get pretty awkward here for Riptide.
It's very sad indeed. That is a Lace with Blood Rot. Okay, players are starting to count how many cards left in their deck. So they have 13 minutes left on the clock. They're thinking, all right, will I be able to kill them with my 15-ish cards? That is a Lace. Sorry, that is a Blood Rot arrow. What's it called?
Lace with Blood Rot. Oh, Infecting Shot.
Infecting Shot in hand. Ravenous Rabble. Trigger Riptide.
Riptide.
Trigger Riptide. Reloading.
Yeah, so card in Arsenal.
Virulent Touch revealed.
Virulent Touch. All right.
Or go again. A bit late seeing those 4 blocks from Bloom's side, but happy that it covers exactly the damage against.
Yeah, this is the second and last on the horizon here. I believe there was one that was used on the previous turn or maybe 2 turns ago.
Right. Well, let's see. Oh, here. Infecting Shot. I feel maybe this was wasted. Using Riptide would have been better to draw the card. I forgot what the Ravenous Rabble revealed. Oh, it was Virulent Touch.
Virulent Touch, yeah.
I would have been happy just arsenaling the Virulent Touch over here.
Yeah.
Arsenal's a second Infecting Shot. It's a second Infecting Shot.
Infecting Shot, yeah. That does make sense.
Oh, no, this makes sense. Bolt and Boots was broken. Oh, they can't Bolt and Brace. It does not harden its base.
That is true.
All right, they're just gonna Arsenal their second Infecting Shot. Ooh, just not a good situation.
Yeah, the Virulent Touch is a little awkward here next hand, I believe.
Bloom has been able to save HP nonstop. Now sending a Kodachi for 1 pitching Bittering Torn does not have go again, is not hardened in space. It's just 1 damage and I'm keep a card in my deck.
Yeah, so this seems like the attrition race to the bottom. Sending Kodachi for 1, eventually gonna have to ask for a card. Does not have go again and does not have plus of its base, so it doesn't trigger any traps.
Right, so Bloom over here asking earlier how many cards left and counting their deck. Knew that was their only way of clawing out. Oh no, Scarf for Scarf, 4 go again.
4.
Cedric is going to be able to present a wide turn. See if Bloom's able to block it out. Lesser Fist looks to be the card blocking, taking 1 damage over here. And some situations you just have to not full block on the first ones because you expect any number of unhits. Bloom's going to go over and looking at the graveyard to see how many laces or little traps are left. See if they can survive this onslaught of damage. Cedric here is thinking on how to play their next attack now. They need to find a way to give their Infecting Shot in Arsenal go again, or else they're just going to be IPing cards in hand.
Yeah, so taking a little time to think here, trying to figure out how to map out the next future turns and try to send lethal at some point. This seems like seems difficult to face 2 Kodachis in a deck that does not have a weapon. So we'll need to figure out like if it either like the trap damage that will kill or like a big enough arrow. So I'm curious to see how these next few turns go. I believe there might be maybe 3 or 4 turns left to this game until it is decided.
Yeah, there's 9 minutes left on the clock, and of course, once it hits time, it's going to be finish this turn and an extra turn. We'll see. We'll see how they continue this this onslaught. It's going to be infecting shot for 5, and I believe the last card left in hand is Virulent Touch. It's an excellent card to close up the games because if your opponent doesn't block, they take damage, and if they do block, they get a Blood Rot. So right now, Cedric is searching to bring Bloom low enough to be able to get value out of that Virulent Touch. The only problem is it doesn't have Go again.
Yes. Also, this Virulent Touch, like at this point in the game, Ira's deck is probably a bunch of blues, and
Oh
so
no,
paying for
this
this Blood Rot is not too bad.
that's fair, not too bad. Razor Reflex for 4.
Oof, Razor Reflex for 4. Assuming there might be a trap here to survive.
There is 2 traps. Oh no, they just
There's
decide
no
to take
traps.
the damage.
Oh.
They did have a few traps. So they're reverting the game. Here they're just explaining how it works. Cedric here didn't know that once you say no reaction. When you say no reaction here, and if your opponent plays a reaction, you also have priority again. You're allowed to play the card. You have
he
to
was
break.
not aware.
Exactly. For newer players, how it works in this game, the chain needs to be empty and both players passes priority successively for it to resolve. So no, we just revert the game state.
Alright, so triggers inertia trap. Does not trigger the trap, but stays alive. Takes 1 here from the
It
boulder
triggered both
trap?
traps. It was inertia and boulder trap. They're both supposed to trigger. Inertia is
so
higher than base.
Oh, true. So inertia does trigger on the first one.
Inertia
So
triggered, boulder triggered, pinging for 1/1.
Yeah, so Bloom should be at 3 here. Let's see
No,
if
no,
this
they
is
were at
correct.
6. They were at 6 to begin with, right?
Oh, we're now at 5? Okay.
It was 6v4.
Okay, that's my bad.
That's fine. All right. Oh my god, the deck is looking mighty thin. That's 3 cards left. And those are traps. The only cards left in Cedric's deck is traps.
Yeah,
That
might not have the damage.
Virulent Touch for 4. Bloom has to consume some cards to not take damage, and when they block, they will take a Blood Rot. So, block 4, pitch a blue Arsenal, and your opponent will deck out.
Alright, reading Virulent Touch. This is some outsiders draft shaft that we don't really see play in CC, so makes sense here. We need to just make sure we know what this card does.
I'm wondering if this deck was actually just one of those Silver Age decks. Is Riptide one of those Silver Age Chapter 1 or 2 decks?
No, I believe the ranger for Silver Age is Azalea.
Only Azalea. All right. So might have been just deciding the Virulent Touch is really good for late game and end game, but it's not helping in this specific situation, unfortunately. Bloom's deck is looking very thin as well. 2 cards left versus 4 cards left. All right, Bloom will need to start pitching and attacking, or else they'll be dying. So see if they're able to play to block 1, pitch a blue Kodachi maybe would be the play.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so just having a quick count on what's left in the deck. Seeing if there's enough damage. I'm assuming the rest of the deck is just blues, and so the only thing we can really do is block out and send Kodachi, which is actually a better late game than what Riptide can probably do. It's just the problem is you need to be wary if there's enough traps to just die to Oh, did we change games?
No, we're still in the main game.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, so we just need to make sure that we don't die to the traps if there's enough traps to trigger the four instances.
Right. Well, let's see how we're closing out this game. Blood Rot is there. Bloom's gonna opt to Kodachi, pitching a blue.
Yeah. So Kodachi for 1, pitching Seek Vengeance. So Blood Rot on board.
And pretty confident Bloom has a second blue in hand to just pay for the Blood Rot.
Yeah.
Bounty Trap,
It will
ping
be
for 1.
okay.
Bloom has to
one.
take the 1, unfortunately.
Yeah, goes to 3, gets a Frailty. That actually helps for the Kodachi because now it's not greater than its base. So if there was a trap that gets +1 when it's greater,
Well,
this is
Quicksand just
the-
triggers regardless. The trap that you play from hand.
yeah, because it's a go again, so it does still trigger.
Wait, did they not ping Bloom for 1 here?
Ooh, they might have missed it.
Or did it get placed back in hand? Because Quickening Sand should have dealt 1.
Yeah.
All right.
Paid for the Blood Rot.
Oh, no. It's still in hand. Yeah, they opted not to block because it was 0 damage. Sorry, 1 damage. They just took it.
1.
Quickening Sand
okay.
gives go again. Ooh. Not sure how they played at Death Touch.
Yeah, there's a card stuck in Arsenal here, so this is quite an awkward turn if we can't clear the Arsenal here, which is
Bolt and Shot?
okay, so we have Bolt and Shot.
Bolt and Shot go again, but in hand it's a buff and a Death Touch. I would have been happier just playing the buff, sending as much damage as possible, removing cards from Bloom's hand. Pitch to Death Dealer and pass turns to play. Because Bloom here doesn't have a deck left, so you just need to send it to strip as many cards and send a regular attack. Alright, the Quickening was wasted for some reason.
Yeah, I don't think there was a way to play this Death Touch this turn.
Don't think it made sense to play the Quickening over there. The Quickening should have been kept for next turn, because right now you would have been able to shoot 1 arrow into Death Touch. So there's 3 cards left in hand. Bloom has 4 cards left in hand. Bloom just needs to survive the next attack and then send Kodachi for game. And strategically send Kodachi for 1 no-go again to ensure you don't die to any traps. I'm pretty sure there's none left that would trigger, but still. Right.
Yeah, so we're on the last moments of this game.
Cedric is taking their time thinking how they can kill.
To think, looking at Cedric's graveyard and making sure that there are no traps left except the Quickenings, or actually, is there just no traps left?
Yeah, at this point, don't even care. Just send a Kodachi and sure it doesn't have go again. There's still the Bittering Torn from early.
Yeah. Oh, the Nip at the Heels here could be a little tricky one for Cedric if he doesn't if he isn't careful enough.
No, looks like the correct play is Kodachi pitching Bittering Torns and pass.
Yeah, but if Cedric decides to no block here, the Nip at the Heels can push for lethal.
Oh, they're pitching the Nip.
Oh, pitching the Nip.
Pitching the Nip. So Cedric knows the Nip is not there. And Kodachi for 2.
Yeah, or Bittering Thorns here.
Bittering Torn for 5 is pretty good too.
Yeah, if after looking at the deck she saw that all the traps were in the graveyard, then maybe she knows that she can get away scot-free, sending this Bittering Thorns. Oh, doesn't want to risk it. Decides to just
Kodachi pass
here.
Yeah, they might have to block because Cedric could have just swung and Bloom doesn't have enough cards to block. So Bloom has to block pass turn? No, sorry, they were just looking at the Arsenal. That was just a pass turn. Kodachi. I'm surprised Cedric did not send a Death Touch.
Yeah, notably.
Right.
Right, so there was one more trap here. Ira goes to 1. So now sends the Kodachi for 2.
Has to give the Boulder Trap.
Yeah.
I feel Cedric should have won this game earlier if they triggered every single trap. Because the first trap should have been unconditional triggered.
What is the first trap?
Courageous Crossing. Let me load that card for you. Let me load this card for you.
Oh, Courageous. When this defends an attack with greater than its base, remove a +1 counter.
Yeah. If they So Boulder Trap on their, sorry, if they used both traps on the second one, they could have killed Bloom. Maybe some miscommunications a few times. I feel like Cedric could have won the games they played if they triggered their traps.
Interesting game. Yeah. This is a kind of a new event with newer players, and it is quite difficult deck to pilot in some spots.
That's fine. We're featuring players, getting them to enjoy the game, playing competitively. There's also the stress of being on the camera for the first time if it's your first rated camera.
And the time pressure, right? There was only a minute left. It is hard to make decisions here. We don't want to go to time, and you don't want just like going to time is a stressful thing in an event. I remember the couple of times I went to time.
You did some pretty bad misplays. That's a different story. But yeah, guys, don't worry too much here. It's the first event. Players are here to learn, and we're here. We're happy to feature our friends and local communities, get them some exposures and such. And eventually, when they show up on the big screen, could be like, "Hey, it's because of us."
Yeah. Well, been here, done that. That's what they will say on their first calling live stream game.
When are you gonna top 8 at calling, huh?
Let's look at next game here. So
why do you switch? But don't worry about it. So next game, what we'd like to call Flarvo. Bravo Flattering Showman versus Kayo, the classic matchup that I was expecting for this meta. Guardians and Brutes. We decided to feature different matchups than what we're gonna see later on in the top to just get more flavors. Do you know how this matchup goes?
Yeah, so Flarvo versus Kayo. Kayo is a pretty explosive deck, kind of the boogeyman of the format, seemingly. And Flarvo, like, usually Guardians have a little bit less of a rough time into Kayo than other decks, although, like, if you're not playing a Kayo counterpick, of course. I'm not sure actually how Flarvo does against Kayo, but there are, like, pretty good blocking value, pretty good disruptive on hits. It's probably, I'm guessing, like, kind of an aggressive race here.
It's completely an aggro race. The question becomes, does Flarvo get the big reds in Arsenal and just kept using their Dominate +2? Or will Kayo just have so much more damage? Flarvo going first, and we're getting into the game.
Right. So you got Hugo versus Edouard.
Edouard the Fifth. No, I'm kidding. It's V. So Hugo B versus Edouard V. Not any new players anyhow in our meta. People know these people. People know both of them, that they're pretty decent players. We see them top 8. They qualify for Nats. So it's not random people. Looking at the gear set from Bravo, curious, Unflinching is a choice for the boots? Or it's a different boot?
So Unflinching Foothold is Battleworn 1. And you can pop it to remove Dominate on attack, which is relevant if Edouard goes for a Pulping Go Again turn. So then you can remove the Dominate and block with 2 cards and end the Kayo's turn. So a little bit of a tech card for Kayo, also a tech card for the other Guardians that have Dominate as well.
It's fine against the early Pulping turns, just to survive, right?
Yeah, exactly. And just remove the Go Again, because if Kayo wants to go on a 2-white attack and start with Pulping, it doesn't work for the first time.
Right. So let's see. That was a fine start. Standing 8, stripping 3 cards from the Kayo deck if we ever go to Fatigue, and arsenaling a good red card, I presume. That is Buckwild 7 Go Again, one of the great cards from Super Slam.
Yeah, great start. This is exactly where you want to be on Kayo on turn 1. Just like the big old 7 Go Again. A little test of strength here will clash. These clashes aren't actually guaranteed for Flarvo in this matchup because Kayo has a lot of high power attacks on top of his hero ability, giving +1 on the
Angel line up and they won. Here is my gold using the Gem Pack art card.
Banger gold token.
It is also the middle, so it's like perfect.
Yeah, is that the tournament pack card?
It is the tournament pack art card, yeah. The players just, you guys can't hear it, we muted it, but we hear them just yell, "Judge, can I get a gold token?"
Oh yeah, Buckwild into Bear Fangs here. Like, this is the bread and butter Kayo turn.
Yeah, 7 into 7. I have a might for next turn. That's 14 damage. Just 2 damage above rate, and you get a might. So it's 3 above rate. That's
Yeah, so Hugo here taking 6 damage on this turn. Let's see what he sends back on his turn.
unflinching blocked, 1 value already used. So
Yeah.
whenever there is a dominate, he can pop it.
Yeah, exactly. I like this block a lot because we never know when the pulping's gonna arrive. So at least you get the block out of the way, so you don't lose the block value when there's a pulping on board.
Choke slam for 10 dominate.
All right, choke slam for 10 dominate.
Choke slam for 10 dominate. Do we need to say that again? Choke slam for 10 dominate. Your attack can gain, so the might loses value. And if you have anything like a Bear Fang also doesn't get value. All right, and we're just giving their gear right away. They're like, nah, I'm gonna get some value right now.
Yeah.
No cards coming in from hand. Very surprising.
This is a block 6, so the choke slam would still crush here.
I see wild ride, 3 wild rides in hand, and a buck wild. It's a very wild hand.
That is a wild hand.
Is there any other cards with the name wild?
Wild ride. Huh. I'm not sure actually.
Alright, pull in Fabry.
Yeah. Oh, Aether Wildfire, Stir the Wildwood, Crowd Goes Wild, and Buck Wild.
Bro, Crowd Goes Wild is kind of funny.
Just blocked 6 on the 10 dominate. Has a full grip.
They could have given a card from their hand to ensure that Chokeslam's crush effect doesn't happen, but no, they opted just to take it, swing Wild Ride for go again, losing the value out of the might that exists. But it's fine because their hand was Wild Ride.
Yeah. I do believe the only block card was the Buckwild, which is the blue in hand, so it might have been a little awkward here to block 3.
Yeah, it was triple Wild Ride and a Buckwild, so I understand why that happened, but it's fine because Edward over here still has discarded 1 Wild Ride, play 1 ride, has a 3rd Wild Ride that they can arsenal, and the last card in hand that they drew could be pitched into Claw. Regardless,
that's the block 6 here. This does have go again. We don't have the token here, but it does have go again, I believe. And
into Claw.
What else he does here.
Into Claw, Arsenal the Wild Ride would be a very good choice.
Yeah, I agree. I would like to see a little Claw.
Oh no, Edwards decided to break their sash.
Oh, so Wild Ride, Mendable.
Mendable Claw first, Wild Ride. Oh, okay, they're deciding to see if they can high roll, draw an even better card.
Ooh, that's a little risky here, because if you banish the 2 or more resource card and keep the red.
They drew a yellow Buck Wild, so I'm surprised that they decided to swing the 2nd Wild Ride first, not the Claw.
Yeah. There's a little risk gamble there, but, get there.
Brute players be like, I like rolling dice, I like drawing, discarding.
Hashtag Brute Life.
Hashtag Brute Life. Block 5, giving Bolter drop over here, and Edward's just gonna arsenal the last card. Oh, I understand why they did that. They decide to break your chess piece, swing with the Wild Ride so that it can have an arsenal. I would have preferred to just swing the Claw and go with a 5-card hand plus chess piece. But to each their own.
Yeah.
Hammer for 4.
Hammer for 4. Good old bread and butter here, converting a blue into 4. Pretty good.
Unsure.
Block the Blade Beckner.
I'm unsure about the play from Hugo blocking with that boulder drop. I would have preferred drawing that in Arsenal, as Edward doesn't have gear left.
That is true. That is a good point, actually.
And Hugo has all the gear. When he needs to, he can cash in his unflinching for the pulping. So that is a Wild Ride 7. It's a yellow one. Draw this card.
It is a red one. It is 7 go again.
It is going to be red. 7 go again.
Banishes Rough Rush? No, what is that card?
Rough Up.
Rough Up, yeah.
Banish or discard, because there's nothing in Banish. This ain't Levia.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine banishing. This isn't Blood Debt. Levia is one of those fun heroes I think just got nerfed because of everyone else. Art of War gone. One of the biggest nerfs for Levia.
Rip Levia.
Rip Levia. Clash revealing a pommel.
Reveals a pommel.
That's something Hugo has to watch out for now.
Yeah. So Also, might be risky if he wants to play anything else that has a draw discard effect here. The pummel can be a little awkward here.
Mandible Claw for go again.
Well, for 3 go again.
I think
Two
you're
resource
playing.
voting.
I think you're playing the draw discard regardless because it's gonna be funny.
Yeah, you kind of have to sometimes in KO. Like if you have the bear fangs, you kind of have to.
Oh no, it's
But
gonna
that's
be
a
rough up. Rough up. Make of.
Never punish. It is coming in for 7 because there are 6 or more power in your pitch.
Courtesy of Kayo's passive, it's so good. Curious why they didn't play the arsenal and try to get their rough up out. Maybe they didn't want to discard the pummel. They're going to draw their pummel. So Edward here has the pressure. Hugo just has to accept that there is a pummel in the upcoming hand.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Hugo maybe keep cards and try to disrupt knowing there's a pummel in hand. Because the pummel functions really badly on a smaller hand, usually.
Well, let's see. Buckwild, Savage Feast, and I couldn't remember. Pummel has been pitched to Savage
It's
Feast.
the pummel. Yeah, that makes sense.
Wait.
You want to make sure you don't
that
lose.
was the incorrect order.
No, it's beaten trackers first.
No, they didn't even discard yet.
Yeah, exactly. It just you have to discard and then trigger beaten trackers and then draw a card.
Yeah, well, the judge arrived with 2 gold. Good timing because they called judge at the same time for this. All right, our players here are explaining. My opponent, Savage Feast, just drew a card without discarding yet. That is the card they drew. There is a confirmation that card is separate. Judge is looking, saying this is back on top of your deck. Please discard correctly.
Yeah. A little oopsie daisy on the KO side. It happens.
Happens. It's one of the rare cards that's the opposite side. Most cards
right here needs the okay.
And they did not beat the tracker.
Yeah, should have beaten trackers here.
That's insane amount. Yeah, I understand why a judge wouldn't allow you to reverse and break your boots because you already saw your top deck. But at that point, if you want a full revert, a more cautious judge would have let the defending player allow you to bottom look at the extra card. It would be looking at an extra card and would let you decide to top or bottom it. That way, both players have the same information when the KO decides if they want to break their beaten tracker. So now that's just not the spot you want to be in. 2 cards in hand. At least it's an agile windup. Was not fully lost value.
Yeah, not very good here. IP1 on the KO side. Not
they lost so much damage. Yeah. If they popped the beaten tracker, would have swung the claw for free. Agile windup to swing the arsenal.
And then the punish here because the fault line here on hit arsenal destruction, which if Edward had cracked beaten trackers, probably would not have a card in arsenal. So this is a pretty big punish here for the miss trigger, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's completely a huge punish. It's very unfortunate from the misplay that you did. It just lets your opponent 100% take back the tempo. It is still a competitive event, so you have to slow down a little bit. Yes, you're on camera, but you have to slow down, make sure you play everything in the correct order. That is going to be block 4 against 7, taking 3. No crush, at least.
Yeah, if I can give an advice for these competitive events, it's I've realized that I tend to play a little faster because I'm nervous and the heart's beating fast a little bit, so you're playing a little bit faster. And what I've noticed in my games at calling levels and Pro Tour is that all of my rounds I have 25 minutes left because I'm just playing so fast.
Because you're that good at this game. Yeah, no, but remember.
Well, no, because when I lose, I also have 25 minutes in time. So I think it's important to just take a breather, take your time, and really map out your turns a little bit more at competitive events. You have the time. Depends on what you're playing for sure. There's decks that usually go more often to time, but I think it's very important to just breathe and take your time a little bit.
Breathe, take your time, decompress, unstress. Your tip would be take it slower in your game. My tip would be go get water, go wash your face, go to the washroom between every single round, wash your hands, just walk, breathe, and don't stay stuck on the previous game because
I do that as well. Yeah, a little reset to the back room after a round, just drinking some water or talking with people. Like little mental reset, get ready for next game is what I usually like doing.
Very much needed. The other tip, you're very right. Just slow down, don't stress, because if you're stressing, you're not going to help yourself, and ensure that you take your time and plan your hand correctly, as every little mistakes adds up in this game. It's a huge punish. Right, gear being used now from Hugo's side. He still has value left on his gears, unlike Edward, who is completely quote unquote naked. So seeing Hugo swing his hammer or arsenal, it is swing hammer for 4.
This was for 4. No arsenal.
No
Which
arsenal.
is Macho Grande, which is a very powerful card for late game in this matchup.
If you get there, but it costs so much resources is the biggest problem. That is a Civics chest from Hugo's side. So when he does decide to block, he's going to start giving free resources to Edward.
Yeah, also, Civic Duty, funny tech card for Ira, because giving a resource to Ira can be backbreaking, because they won't be able to pitch a zero
Kodachi
cost
no go again.
Yeah. So usually, if you don't have the one cost like Bittering Thorns or Leg Tap or something like that, Civic Duty can be pretty punishing for Ira.
Very punishing. Smash Instinct 5 Intimidate?
Intimidate.
5 Intimidate is a play somehow. That was not the situation Edward wanted to see. One turn where he didn't break his beaten tracker into a hand that just doesn't have go again. Maybe this is where he should have cashed in the gold and hoped to draw a go again card. But he went to safe play. Block 3, send 5, Arsenal 1.
Yeah. Here Hugo brings.
And Hugo has the block card.
Bash?
No, it's not a clash, it's a reveal.
Oh, it's Crash and Bash, right?
Crash and Bash, yeah. Reveal, just make a vigor. So good.
Good card.
So good. Getting some extra value out of here. Hugo, you need to get the tokens that you play. Because what does flesh and blood mean? I know it's a vigor because it's cast right away, but it looks just a little bit funny.
I think it's Seismic Surge, no? Crash and Bash makes Seismic Surges.
Is it a Seismic Surge?
Let me read.
Pretty sure it's a figure, no?
No, it's a Seismic Surge. It's a Guardian card.
Guardian players without Guardian tokens. Anyways, I don't know what that card is. It's Guardian cards. I don't play Guardians. Do you play Guardians?
Notably, we do have to remind people that Canadian national champion Jordan Jalbert Ross went into round 1 as Syndra without a mark token and had to run around at Silver Goblin and ask them for a mark token.
You know you could just rip a piece of paper from your notepad and write mark, right?
Well, that was not what was going on Jordan's mind.
Our players are good thing they're friends with our good partner Silver Goblin.
Yes.
Let's put it that way. All right, that's Bear Fangs.
Shout out Silver Goblin.
I mean, they're the one hosting us, and we play there locally every Friday. You guys, if you're in the area, feel free to drop by. And while we're here, there's going to be a coupon code in the description below for your first order at Silver Goblin. Staunch response. Yeah.
Cover 7 on the 8.
2 guard for 7.
Good card.
Very good card. Mandible Claw for 3. Clash of Might.
Oh.
I actually don't know what's the card on top of Hugo's deck.
I believe it's Fault Line. Yeah.
He won the Clash. I presume it's higher than 6.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. And Predatory.
Oh, good turn here. Good.
I like how Hugo just said, what is that card? I don't know what it does.
It is also my first time seeing that card.
You never saw Predatory? All right. Predatory Assault. I'll let you read it.
If you have this card.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting card.
Exterminate. It's slightly better than Pulping in the sense where it blocks 3. Or else, Hugo, if he really need to, he could have cashed in his unflinching foothold to full cover it. But looks like his game plan is just hammer for 5.
Hammer for 5 makes sense.
Hammer for 5. Edward doesn't have any gear left. And he's at 6. So Hugo's hammering for 4 all the way to Edward's demise could be very good. And at the same time, Hugo still has his chess piece and his gloves.
I do see. I believe there's a Buckwild in Edward hand, so he could still go on a 2-wide attack here.
He's blocking with a Buckwild. Surprised.
Blocks with a Buckwild. Yeah, it gets a little scary here if you send that 2-wide, because Hugo can probably cover it pretty confidently, and if you go to 1 to hammer, you give 2 cards after, and it gets pretty hard in late game.
I see what you're thinking. I'm just not a fan of what was decided to be blocked. I would have rather swing the Buckwild for 6 go again.
Yeah, it could be. I was it? Yeah, it's 6 go again.
Yeah, it's the yellow Buckwild. There's an agile windup that is going to be discarded, and then
which gives go again.
And I believe the last card is one of the cards from Slam. I didn't see the art correctly.
It's rough.
It's one rough shot.
Yeah.
1 for 5.
Well, no, this is a really good turn. I like this actually. Block 3, and you're still going on a 2-wide chain. I believe there wasn't a way to do this with. No, you could still do it with Buckwild. No, because you still have to discard the agile windup.
No, Buckwild would have to go again. But
yeah, but he didn't have the resource, right? Because
he would pitch the agile windup. So the difference here is Edward deciding to get an agility and a might for next turn. That is the last fault line.
Coming for 7.
For 7 over here.
Yeah, block 6. Go to 1. Go to 2.
Oof, that's getting very tight. Edward going very low. A few that beaten tracker misplay from earlier is very punishing.
Yeah,
Ashton crack for a gold. Here. Going for the Hail Mary over here.
See what he finds here.
It's a pummel.
Ooh, not what you want.
Pummel for a Buckwild for 6 go again. 6 go again.
Yeah. I believe it's the blue Buckwild. It's 5.
Yeah, it would be 6 because of the might from.
Oh, true. So might 6 in agility. Can't convert the agility, unfortunately.
That is very unfortunate. I would have loved to see that gold cracked earlier in the game, because this late in the game, it's mostly all blues in your deck left. Asking for a count left in deck. There's 6 cards left in Edward's deck. And 15 minutes on the clock. I think Hugo is saying, okay, I'm going to start giving you your vigors now. Yeah. I'll be fine.
Hence the civic duty to go to 4 and the boulder drop.
All right. Taking 1. He's going to be able to send a good, like a decent attack and arsenal a unmovable.
Yeah, really good turn here.
I
Renounce Grandeur. Very, very good. I love this card.
What card do you not like in this deck?
Anything that says Guardian, but except for Renounce Grandeur. But yeah, this gets +1 when defending hero controls a aura token, and on Crush they cannot create aura tokens next turn. It's a really good hate card in LL for Viserai.
For a lot of decks, surprisingly.
And Chain, yeah.
Right, so that is a disable for 7. He's gonna ask for some cards from Edward's side, or else he's not be able to play at all.
Yeah, pops the Boulder Hood here to get +2 on the next attack. And this is disable a blue for
9 dominate.
9
dominate. GG's.
No dominate, but it is GG.
Oh, just +2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was
good game.
That was a very back and forth game. Very sad from Edward's side. Heartbreaking.
Yeah, little heartbreaking miss trigger on the beaten trackers. Game probably would have went a lot differently there. It is unfortunate. It is things that happen, but it was a great game nonetheless.
Right. Closing thoughts before we jump into the next game.
I think competitive events are always as stressful as your first one. I remember my first one. I think it was like a year and a half ago, and I was.
It was your
nervous through the roof the whole game.
Was ProQuest London, and I was the head judge.
Yes,
I just remember looking at your game, not saying anything, and you guys were making mistakes, and I'm like, I can't intervene. You have to call judge. And then you just both look at me. I'm like, you have to call judge.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times indeed. Well, looks we had a very fun Guardian Brute matchup. We're gonna see another one here. Very surprised that these two decks are in the 3-0 bracket. Apparently Valda
Guardian versus
only
Kayo.
faced Iras till now, and this Kano only faced Valdez up to this point.
Yes. This is I believe Kevin's fourth Valda game on that day.
The fourth back to back. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. So the Kano deck actually try to praise on the Guardian. So this is on paper really good matchup for Kano here. The Kano has a really good ability because all of his cards block 3, so he can just like confidently block 3 and start a pitch attack. Or
there's a good amount that blocks too. Cinering Force Knights, for example. But you have to be a bit careful how you block, set up and set a burst damage. The big question, I think, would be Valda, how many Arcane Barrier they brought into this game.
Yeah. How much Arcane Barrier, how good the Kano is at pitch attacking.
Do you have Oasis right? And do you have Arcane Polarity, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The difficult thing with the Silver Age is that you only have 10 sideboard slots. And that is like, because what your gear and your main deck, that's 45, so you only have 10 cards to tech for. And teching for Kano requires a lot of sideboard cards, so I've been seeing a lot of Guardian just sacking that matchup, because even with all of the tech cards, they have felt unfavored into Kano. So curious to see what Valor brings here.
Yeah, it's a very, very much one of the classic matchups I remember from Classic Constructed, but having 20 quote-unquote extra cards that you could sideboard for full Arcane Barrier when you were playing Oldham v Kano back in the days was just so oppressive. Kano's had to full pitch stack, Wildfires, and your Tomes. Here, though, 55 cards when you have 6 main gear is very tight. 9 sideboard slots for main and gear. Becoming tight, as you say. So let's see how this Valda presents the gear, and if our friend Kevin is just going to kill a 4th Valda back to back. Kevin is the one that won the dice roll and opting to go first, seeing if he gets the blazing damage. I forgot what the name of the playmat is, but I presume that's what he'll be doing. Just put 1 arcane spell for each circle that we see.
Funny story here about the Kano deck. This is actually my Kano deck that I lent to Kevin.
Your?
And he had asked me a week or two prior to this event if he could borrow my Kano deck, and I completely Donowalled him and did not reply until the day before the battle.
Cubi just left and got some milk. At least he came back.
Yeah, I am very good at leaving people on read. I apologize for that if anyone has been left on read by me.
So guys, flood his Twitter. I'm just going to put it right there in the description.
Please don't.
And at him a lot like, hey, QB, pass me this card for Yokohama.
I actually missed on a business opportunity on Twitter by 3 months by not looking at my Twitter DMs.
Oh, goodness. All right, we need a business manager for you now, QB.
Nah, I'm good.
All right, looks like Kevin just pitched to Kano, didn't hit anything good, and passed. That's a fine start. I think Root's going to be very happy for that Kevin is.
It could have been a whiff, right? Could have. Maybe Kano revealed the Absorbent Aether in his hand currently, which is a D-React, which does not trigger off of Kano. Well, you cannot banish with Kano.
Actually, I don't know.
Wait, actually, can you banish? I think it has to be a non-attack.
Oh, we're just restarting the footage. Oops, tee-hee. Whoops, yeah, no, I turned off the footage, unfortunately, but it's okay. We're just going to stitch this correctly together.
But yeah, so I believe maybe Kano just passed because the top card was the Absorbent Aether.
Yeah, it was an Absorbent Aether. But yeah, let's see Kevin winning the dice roll where he wants to be exactly. Pitching to Kano over here. Let's just fix the card in the bottom corner, because that is definitely... Oh my... That is definitely not the right card.
That is also not the right card.
That is still not the right card. Ah, there we go. Fixed. Pitching to Kano, revealing Kano in the bottom corner. Right. Just gonna be pass and Arsenal a good card.
Yeah. Kind of an unfortunate start for Kevin here. Usually, you like to try to leak a little bit of damage. This Valda is currently presenting AB3. So, yeah, it's AB3 is a little bit hard because you have a lot of breakpoints in Kano. So I do like bringing AB4 as a guardian, but I'm not sure that's correct yet.
Right. I don't know that. Is that card from Master Pack Guardian or from Pen? Rights.
It's for Compendium. Rights of Earthlore.
Rights of
Great setup card.
Rights of Earthlord. Just create a Seismic Surge and next turn +3. And
Yeah, also triggers the chess piece, which whenever you play an aura, you can pay 1 and tap the chess piece to create an extra aura token.
right.
And
Looks
then
like
this
it's
is
going to be a fully aggro matchup. Its next attack is Dominate from Valdo's ability and +3. How much arcane damages can Kevin present back? 21 HP, slightly higher than.
Yeah, so Kevin starts here with Centering Foresights, Op 3. Looks at his hand, try to see what he can cook up this turn.
Yeah, let's see what he can lines up. We're going to see what it lines up. Do you know what's in Arsenal from Root's side? I don't recognize that card.
It's something of the old ones. I think it's Disenchantment of the old ones.
Hey, those are cards I've definitely never heard in my life.
These all have no text, but they are 6 for 10s.
Oh.
They have text and the Guardian mirrors.
Oh, so it is a Master Pack Guardian card.
Yeah.
All right, Voltic Bulk for 5.
Also, notably, it has Heave 2, which is how Root got to 4 Seismic.
Yeah. Seismic Surge is really just sending 10 Dominate. And it's discounted by the attack. Discounted, so it's pretty worth. Oh my goodness, that sentence made no sense. My bad, yeah. So 10 discounted by 4, so you only need to pitch 1 card to swing it. It's pretty good.
It pairs really nicely with the Rights of Earthlore because when you play Rights of Earthlore, you can pitch a blue to Magmatic Carapace to make a Seismic Surge, and then you have 2 floating for the Heave 2. So it is a really, like, this is kind of the ideal setup turn you want to take as well. Usually very, very backbreaking if you get to do it on turn 0.
Here's the Arcane Polarity. I'm higher life than I started.
Good tech card for the Kano matchup.
It's good against Rune Blades. It's good against Wizards. Like, it's a 0 for 4.
Yeah, 0 for 4. Great card.
Just careful against Reaping Blade is what I'll say, or else pitching up the ante. No, sorry, that's not up the ante. It's
Tension in the Air.
Tension in the Air from Source Lab.
Yeah, so this should be the Rights Earthfloor is it blue? If it's blue, it should be 12 Dominate. Or no, wait, no, the blue one's 1, so it's 11 Dominate.
11 Dominate, courtesy of Valda. That is Disenchantment of Old Ones. Comparing the Marvel from Fabry and the one on board, those Marvels look sick.
These Marvels were going for so cheap before Silver Age was announced because everyone was like, who is playing these cards? And then we got Silver Age.
And then we got the explanation that LSS was thinking 5 steps ahead. We're playing 4D chess.
They are cooking, I will say that.
They planned so hard in advance that they made Blitz really bad, created Silver Age, and created Young Hero Marvels.
Alright, Kano decides to activate Kano twice here.
That's
probably thinking, well, she has no cards in hand. I will just take this 10 and try to Kano. Or maybe he can still block 3 here.
Well, he could just use his entire hand and block with the Undying Grip.
That is true. That is a very powerful card.
Block 6, send Emmer Scalding for 7, and Arcane Twinning for 1. That's 8 damage. That they know Kevin knows Root. Oh, it's also an Absorbent Eater.
Oh, Absorbent Eater.
Oh my goodness, that is 10 block against 11.
Oof.
10 blocks against 11, and then he's snapping back with a big 8. Arcane Barrier 1, take
block
7.
10, send 8. Oof.
And send Twitting, that was 9. Block 8, send 9. And Root had no cards.
Very strong.
left in hand to Arcane Barrier, and no cards to Arsenal.
Yeah, notably, now she has no more setup, no more Seismic Surge, and Kano just goes past here on Root's turn, which is a kind of difficult spot here for Valda because you're not sending anything with Dominate. If you send too much of a big attack, then Kano is just going to activate
You're
Kano
wide
and
open.
Arcane again.
Exactly. You'll be wide open to an attack. So, Kevin drawing back up to 4. And there's an Arcane Polarity, a Boulder Drop, and I don't recognize the last 2 cards.
I believe there is a Reverberate.
Oh, and you're looking at Kevin's hand. I was looking at the other side.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the wizard cards, I think we both know them. That's Reverberate, Photon Splicing, Aether Quickening. We know those cards. It's the Guardians that I don't play.
So on the Guardian side is Boulder Drop, Arcane Polarity, Blinding of the Old Ones, which is another 6 for 10.
Another Old Ones. Ooh.
And I think it's either Valahai Riven or something.
No idea.
Valahai Riven. Yeah, Valahai Riven. Really good card against physical decks because it is a block card that allows you to pitch up to 3 resources to make 3 Seismic Surge.
Yeah, you could block 3, make 3 Seismic Surge, essentially just ensuring you're dominant next turn. And
unfortunately, just a yellow card against Kano.
Just being yellow. That's a nice part of Guardians. They're so tagged for all physicals, and then they play against Kano and go, is Arcane Barrier 3 going to save me or not?
Yeah, so Valda decides to pitch a Blinding of the Old Ones instead of heaving 2. It makes sense. I actually believe she doesn't have the resource to heave 2 if she wanted to. And she gets to keep the Arcane Polarity, which is a very relevant card against Kano.
She had to pitch to swing, so she pitched a red and a yellow to swing for 7. Boulder Drop, forcing Kevin to block or cash in his damage now, and Root happily arsenaling the Arcane Polarity.
Yeah, here's the difficult part about playing against Kano for the Guardian here. Like, when you don't have Dominate, Kano's just happy to just give his 3 blocks and send 1 attack on your turn, and then, like, you're kind of like, you have to think, am I going to AB this, and then have a smaller hand, and then he's going to have more cards on my turn to use, and then just go pass on his turn. Or do you just take it and send a big hand, and is it big enough for Kano to actually either clap back or just give his hand to block again?
Right. And over here, the Guardian player says, all right, how much damage can I send back? How much am I Arcane Barring? Over here, only has Arcane Barrier 3, but has the Polarity in Arsenal. So it's a pretty good position for Root, actually.
Yeah, so we have the Macho Grande, Tectonic Instability, the Pummel, and the second card, I'm not sure what it is. Tectonic Instability is a good hate card where it's a good disruptive because it's both players bottom their arsenal card and draw a card, and you make a Seismic Surge for each card that got bottom. But because your opponent also draws a card, then Valda usually makes 3 Seismic Surges, which gives Dominate on the next attack on next turn.
Yep. That's all you need. Valda just gets a dominant attack there. Recycling the arsenal is fun. Arcane Polarity cash in, Root going back higher HP than they started the turn off. Seeing if they're going to be able to smash. Oh, that's not the position you want to be in. Sending the Miller's Grindstone. Kevin happy seeing it's just 4. And Root has 2 cards.
She does have the Pummel here, which could send 8. So if Kevin's not
blue
too careful,
Pummel.
Oh, is it a blue Pummel?
I believe it's blue Pummel, so it might be very unfortunate.
Why are we playing blue Pummels in 2026?
It's a blue pitch.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it is a blue pitch, but it's a Pummel.
It's a blue pitch. If you go to second cycle, it's a blue. Like when you arrive to grindy parts,
I'm joking. It's but
you hate Pummels. I understand.
Well.
All right, Root opting to pass.
The first time I talked with Aiden Barsoni, he went because I won that 1 R10 with Enigma, and my list had Pummel, and I posted on Purple Discord, and after this is fast forwards a couple of months, and I meet Aiden for the first time, and he goes, "Wait, you're the Enigma Pummel guy."
We all played Enigma with Pummel back when it first came out.
I'm very sad that's my legacy as an Enigma, but it is what it is.
I'm not sure if that's the worst legacy, because we have other players that are infamous for other things that we would love to feature if they make the top 8 brackets. But I'm not sure if Pummel Enigma is the worst, or would it be like what could be worse? What do you think would be
Look,
degenerate?
we don't talk about Enigma Pummel, okay? I was a
Prism
normal
Pummel?
Enigma player, I swear.
Prism Pummel.
Okay, well that's just that's just some pre good card things you would do.
Prism Pummel just it's very sad because most of your deck, you have a good portion of your deck that doesn't block. You want to have heralds, and then it's a yellow, non-light, non-illusionist that blocks too.
All right. Promising terrain here. I believe it's anytime you create a seismic surge, you make one more. And then also you get to pitch to the magmatic carapace.
Yeah, so promising terrain that has been played. That's two seismic surge.
Yeah, I believe it should be 2 seismic surge. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
3 actually.
If you would create that one is +1.
Yeah.
So here Root just that has go again. They can play the Earth Lord here.
No, promising terrain does have go again. No, it writes a 4/4 there. Banger.
They can play Earth Lord here, so that's going to be a huge setup. And that is a red one too, so it's +3 and another seismic surge.
Yeah, so going
Oh,
up
actually
to
+2.
5.
5 seismic surge. Can Kevin one-shot Root in response here?
And heave. Oh baby. So this
Yeah, this old
Just
ones is gonna be for 13
dominate
for free.
for free.
Root can give their
Oh.
entire hand to prevent arcane damage.
So this is the turn where Root goes, I have 4 cards to pitch you. I hope I draw 4 blues. Now let's see if she actually drew the 4 blues here. Does not look like 4
Well,
blues.
Scalding Rain for 4. Scalding Rain for 4 is good. And that was instant speed, so Kevin still has Snapback and a second Scalding Rain in hand. That's 11 arcane damage. One goes through, there's no more red polarity. So Kevin knows there's no more
drop.
There's no more special things. Might have Oasis Respites, maybe. Alright, that is Scalding Rain for 5.
That's another Scalding Rain for 5.
Oh, and Kevin is opting to Arsenal the Snapback to have a even bigger damage turn on Root's turn.
Which makes sense. If she uses all her cards here, she might be in trouble.
She has to. That's a red Pummel. Yeah. And I'm not sure the last 2 colors.
I believe it's another one of the old one cards. It is. Dun, dun, dun.
Don't know what color they are. Are they all red for the old ones?
I think it's yes, smelting of the old one, I believe.
That card is red. Ooh, that's
so 2 reds in hand here. Not what you want to see. At least there was 2 blues.
Ooh, took 4 damage. I feel like it's a caster curse where you said, "Oh, they have to draw 4 blues," and then it was reds.
Hey, I did nothing wrong.
Disillusioned QB.
also, Root destroyed me the last round right before I was playing Ira.
Oh, okay.
Completely destroyed me.
Okay, so here you're just blaming her for beating you. A classic player.
But I had to say she did destroy me. Unfortunate.
Well, that is a 3-0. That is a 3-0 Valda, tech for the meta, and then faces the Kano. All right. Old ones for 10?
For 13, with the Rights of Earthlore.
Rights of Earthlore is a good
And
setup.
she has the pummel here, but she kept 2 reds to send the pummel, which I guess it's more value than 8.
She had no choice. I think she had to keep it in hand in case to make Kevin think she has a blue for her turn.
It is also pushing for lethal here, because even if Kevin blocks 3, the pummel would bring it up to 17, which means Kevin would die by -1.
But Root needs to blue in hand to be able to kill.
Yeah, so Kano needs to send 8 damage here to stay alive. Or, yeah, because if Root has a pummel here, Kevin needs to kill
There is an Absorbent Eater in hand. And a Snapback in Arsenal. Talismanic Lands, I think, should be card cashed in right now.
Yes.
There it is. Kevin is a very good player. It's like he was our top 2 Canadian players at some point. That's a Reverberate.
Reverberate is a powerful card right now.
It discounts a card from your... sorry, not discounts. It lets you banish a card from hand and play it. Absorb.
and it costs X less for X damage dealt, which is really good with the Absorbinator.
And that is
I'm just not sure what is
also a
Kevin's
immersive scalding in Kevin's hand.
Oh my god.
So it could be reverberate for Crucible, reverberate Absorbent Eater. That we +3. Reverberate for 6 versus Arcane Barrier 3. Emmer Scalding for a lot of damage and a snapback from Arsenal after that. That might be the turn.
Calculating damage.
That might be the turn. Calculated damage. Kevin knows he has 18 minutes left on the clock, so he's ensuring that he has lethal. Most turns when you play as Kano, even back then in CC, was relatively fast. The longest turn was your Wildfire Tome turns, or Open the Floodgate once they were banned. All right, let's look at the math. Our mathematician here doing his masters, if I remember correctly.
I think he's starting his PhD, I believe.
Oh, he finished his master's and now onto his PhD? You have the math whiz guy on this side.
Also, fun story. He was my chemistry partner in college, and I was very bad and inted a lot, but you know.
Inted a lot? So I see how you guys had bad chemistry, seeing how you responded 3 months late, 3 weeks late to his text.
Yeah.
Kevin, if you're watching this video, you can comment below. Let us know if he was the best or worst lab partner you ever had.
Shout out to... No, I was the worst. I still failed that class, by the way.
No! Not like this. Right, well, I hope you guys like our stupid bantering, because Kevin is going to pop off Absorbent Eater, blocking 4.
Yeah, amping 3.
And seeing if Root is playing anything, because he is not in lethal range. If Root has a pummel and plays the pummel, Kevin will just play the rest, and Root's is dead assured.
Yeah. So Root here pondering if she can afford to send this pummel. And not sending this pummel and letting Kevin go to 1 would be a little scary here. But sending his pummel is even scarier, because then Kevin still has...
Kevin's blocking 4 over here. He would be going down to 4, so pummel has to be used to go for the kill.
Push lethal.
That is a photon slicing blue, and I believe Emrys yellow or blue, I'm not sure.
I believe it's blue Emeritus with photon splicing blue and trailblazing Aether. No, sorry, it's 2 cards. Photon splicing and Emeritus sculpting.
I don't know where you're seeing the trailblazer. That would be crazy if you had
it's in the pitch. I'm tripping. It's in the pitch.
Let's eat. Is it not quickening in pitch? Pretty sure it's quickening. Eater quickening.
Eater quickening, yeah.
How did you? What's trailblazer? I have to search that card up now.
Oh, it's okay. Trailblazing Aether is the card that got power. That it is Aether quickening, but 1 less damage, but cost 0.
Right. So the versions that they printed in Rosetta.
Yes.
This quickening came much earlier. If I remember, it came with Everfest or Dynasty. Aether. It's one of the expansion slots from back then. It's been a hot minute since I played. Aether Quickening is from Rosetta. Rosetta got a reprint, and the original was from Dynasty. All right, Kevin still doing his math. Root has 3 cards in hand.
Yeah, so it's the pummel with the 2 reds, right? It is. So AB3, but Kevin does not know that. Kevin sees 3 cards and he's probably thinking, what if she has 3 blues? Like, how do I kill?
What if she has 2 blues and an Oasis Respite?
Yeah, and that too.
Okay, damage was taken. Root decided not to play the pummel.
She does not play the pummel here.
If she plays the pummel, I think she would die.
She does die if play the pummel here. But then Kevin can still pop off here, because now she doesn't have an action point and she only has 3 cards.
She's hoping that she just has enough resource to survive Kevin's turn.
This Reverberate is going to come in for...
Reverberate Crucible 7?
Or 5?
Oh, he did in Crucible.
Yeah, for 5. Yeah. Now she can only AB3. If she has the Oasis here, it's pretty annoying for Kevin. But if she AB3s here, it still leaks 2 damage, which means Kevin will be able to banish from hand his Immerse Scalding. and then he could discard he could either activate Kano or discard Photon Splicing to amp 1, use Crucible, and then
Photon is
send the Emerald
pitched.
Calling for. Okay. I need to look at what's happening on board.
My guy. Photon's in the pitch right now, so
True, because Reverberate costs 1. Okay. Yeah.
what Kevin could do is crack Spellfire and get 1 resource and play the Emerald Scalding for free. Or swing the Arsenal Spellfire. Sorry, Snapback.
Well,
Ooh, pitching 2. Kevin knows he has the kill.
Yeah, so it is pretty much over here because he gets to manage this Spellfire.
Spellfire for... It's a blue Spellfire. Blue Emerald Scalding for 4.
Yeah.
Root has to Arcane Barrier, or else she's going to be at 1, and at that point, anything Kevin sends that's above 3 just kills her. Arcane Barrier 1, taking 3, going to 2. Kevin knows he needs to do 6 arcane damage in 1 source to kill Root. Snapback still in Arsenal. Right.
Oh, true. Okay, I was mixing up Reverberate with Sonic Boom.
No, Sonic Boom in this format.
Sonic Boom discards. Yeah. So you can banish a card that costs 2 or less, but you still have to pay for it. Okay.
Yep.
That was my mistake.
No, you wish. Oh my god.
But in hindsight, that would be so broken. So yeah.
Yeah, Sonic Boom is one of those Majestics, right? But you flip your top deck, and if it costs less than the amount you deal, you could play it for free. Just
so
nuts.
Kevin still has a snapback here, so he just needs to find at least 4 damage here to guarantee lethal. If Root doesn't have the Oasis Respite, because he only needs to leak 1 and then amp 1 to snapback to deal 1 and 1 if she AB3s both. Oh, and there's the Emerald Scolding here, so if even a 3 attack would do it. Unless Oasis.
Yeah, unless Oasis. So Kevin has to play this just a little bit safe. Going with the Kano pitch first, looking at the top deck. That is a Cinering Foresight.
Oh, then that is 1 more damage. And
effectively amp 1. That's a Voltic Bolt on top.
That's a Voltic Bolt, yeah.
That's a Voltic Bolt.
Oh, and Emerald Scolding, nasty. Oof. Yeah.
All right.
Flexing on his opponent, showing the snapback.
I had this in the bag, said Kevin. That was a huge amount of damage.
Yeah, and here we go, Kevin 4-0 locked in top 8.
Not assured. The math on 50 players. Yeah, the last player that actually locked in top 8 was 4-1. Everyone else was 5-1.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So you guys don't count your chickens before your eggs hatch, right? So, yeah, you still have to win as much as you can. At least he knows he's gonna be top 16 for the box here, but
yeah.
Right. That was a classic matchup. Very well played from Kevin. Root unfortunately didn't have enough arcane barrier, and those reds were just very disheartening. We have another Kano. This is a 3-1 versus a 3-1 play. They're both fighting to potentially be top 8 or get a box. Florian versus Kano. I know you used to play Stack Florian back in CC.
Yes, you do not want to see Kano as Florian. This is one of the... Because Florian doesn't have... well, you're stacking, right? Like, if this is it depends on the build here, but if this is a hard stack build, you don't really send a lot of damage. So Kano just gets so many turns to set up until you have enough rune chance to try to send lethal. And by the time you get there, you're probably just dead by Kano. You need to bring a lot of AB, and even then, like
as you said, 55 cards. You might not have enough space to actually have more than Arcane Barrier 1.
You don't. I'm very doubtful that Florian actually has the sideboard space to make a more aggressive sideboard. So I'm expecting this matchup to be pretty rough for Florian here. It really depends on the and even then, it's not gonna save you from a very competent Kano player.
I sure hope it's not full on stack Florian. I hope to see a Reaping Blade or some aggressive attacks, or else it's gonna be very one-sided. And the last question: how much Arcane Barrier are you bringing Florian? Right. The nice part is Florian can still heal, like with red and yellow fruits, but yikes.
Yeah. Also, they usually play a Harvest too.
Oof.
Gain 3.
It might be very close as a matchup. But yeah, let's get into the game, see how to present this. Right. So our players setting up. It's the 3-1 versus 3-1, fighting for a chance to still be top 8 or a chance for the box. All right. Well, we just saw Jason win his dice roll over here. Pretty confident he's going to opt to go first and just send a bunch of arcane damage or set up a potion. Oh, nasty white borders in his deck. Oh, no. We don't discriminate. Aiden, we love you.
Yeah.
If you guys ever saw a guy with cold foil white border puffin, that's our boy Aiden. He's just a little bit psychopath. Don't worry about it. All right. This is what we were talking about. Arcane Barrier 1 flipped.
Ooh, AB1. That is
not the spot you want to be.
Tough.
Ain't no pitch. Doesn't even decide to play the potion.
That is
He
tough.
knows he has this in the bag. That's just rude.
Yeah. Yeah. Chorus of the Amphitheater, I believe that card is.
Time to flip it. Time to search it.
I believe that card is it discard amp 1, but it's like super curse how it's written because it's not amp 1. It's a super convoluted.
It's the old, and it's until end of turn. Every single card you play with deal arcane damage gets +1.
Yeah.
Let me just put it on screen for you guys. Discard, right? Yeah. That's just
it's for the whole turn.
Insane value.
If it lineups, yeah.
It was one of the combo cards that was potential play, but I don't think Kayo was playing it before when it was going LL. All right, Runeblade Incantation played. Looks like Remy over here is going to try and stack some Rune Chants. Autumn's Touch.
Autumn's Touch.
Autumn's Touch for 7.
Yeah. Jason can take this slow and just block 6 and just keep sending Arcane because he's on AB1.
The even funny part.
You can also just take it too and just send a lot of damage. I would probably just block 6 here and just keep sending Arcane.
Complete disrespect from Jason's side. I'm gonna break my talismanic lens, and he doesn't even have blocking gear.
Sees AB1 and says, "I see blood. This guy's dead," and just pops everything. It could make sense to before Florian gets to decompose, so the well ground is offline currently, so maybe he's trying to kill before well ground gets online. But I would probably approach this matchup a little bit slower and just here and just send.
I mean,
value.
Jason over here knows everything he plays this turn on is just going to deal damage.
Yeah, that is true.
Take 7. Take 7. Kano's on his opponent's turn. Scalding Red Rain.
Scalding Rain blue, I believe.
Pitches to Crucible. Scalding Rain for 5.
Yeah.
And I believe he has a snapback in Arsenal. Take 4 Arcane from Remy's side.
Yeah, and just pass here.
And he just passes. I'm wondering if it's maybe an energy potion left in hand, or maybe another arcane spell that Jason can just play with Crucible.
Jason still has 2 cards in hand.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be a Crucible play. Crucible and any arcane spell in your hand.
Yeah.
Another Aether Quickening for 5 arcane.
Aether Quickening for 5, yeah.
Rootbound Carapace pitch, not what you like to see. And a snapback play from the Arsenal. That's another 3 arcane. Remy just arcane barriers both. Takes the damage. He's at 8. Jason just needs to find any amount of arcane damage, and he would have the game.
Yeah. Yeah, usually if you present AB1 to Kano's just gonna go for the Jiggler, which is what Jason's doing.
Remy's first Rune Chant. See if he could do something crazy like go wide, and no, it's just to read the Rune Chants.
Read the Rune, pass.
Read the Rune, make 3 Rune Chants. See if Jason decides to reply to it.
Probably Jason just goes to his turn and send from his turn. He just makes a...
I think I just saw another snapback in Jason's hand. All right, on his turn, he's gonna break hold focus. That's
Hold
gonna be
focus.
M1.
And when are we seeing the Mage Master Boots this turn? Maybe.
The Mage Master would be salt on the wounds. Crucible, yep.
All right.
Effectively M2 on the next card.
Pitching a Reverberate.
Pitching blue Reverberate.
Hold.
I'm not sure you're supposed to play blue Reverberate in Silver Age.
It is pretty good. It is pretty good. Oh, red.
Pitch blue Reverberate. Play red Reverberate.
For 5.
5 arcane. You can only arcane barrier 1, take 4,
Maybe
and
take 4.
I get to play another card instant speed from my hand.
Yeah.
Is it a sculpt? It's he's discarding to photon splicing to M1, snap back for
4. Yeah.
Okay. He needs to deal any amount of arcane damage above 1.
Any arcane will do it, and Florian is nowhere near enough rune chance to kill this Florian.
Play Arcane Seed's life. In response,
Kayo. Yeah.
Scalding Rain.
Scalding Rain. It should be a wrap here. Unless Fruits of the Forest.
There's fruits, there's polarity, but yikes.
But if Florian's not bringing more than AB1, I'm also assuming. But
Fist Bump extended. That was a slaughter. How long was this game? 5 minutes?
Oh, there was an arcane polarity, but he was too low. Unfortunate.
That was a 6-minute game, guys. With the deck siding and shuffling.
We zooming out here.
We zooming. So sorry, Remy, to see you get completely ran over. But yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. In these matchups, very unfortunate in these matchups when you play against Kano. Most people don't have enough arcane barrier. So Kano still doing Kano things in this format. We're getting Blaze soon. That might shake up the format enough that people have to side a lot of D-reacts.
Yeah. Wondering how that's gonna look like, because as previously mentioned, like AB is such a high cost in Silver Age because of how small our sideboard is. So I'm really curious to see what happens in the future.
Oh man, I want to see more gear that has Arcane Barrier 2, just so that 1 per class, just so that it's a bit more balanced, or that they start banning very good blocking gears just so that everyone's on a lower gear quality, if that makes sense.
I'm not sure about that, but I don't know. But yeah, I'm a little worried if like Wizard is really strong and everyone needs to like allocate sideboard space. That just makes like the main board a lot more like just main board and having a little bit less tech cards. Maybe that's what they're going for. But like I do look at my sideboards and my Sage decks. I'm like, wow, this is very, very, very little space.
I have a different solution, which is, guys, remember to vote for the next heroes that are getting banned. I think we should bench Kano.
Kano
and Kayo. Anyways, talk about the 2 decks that I think is very meta polarizing. That is our next matchup. Kano versus Kayo. Both players are 4-1. They are fighting to be 5-1 to be in the top 8.
Winning in. Kayo is one of the tougher matchups for Kano because he gets Scarab Plating, which is the arm piece that has Spell Void 3 if you have a 6 power in your pitch. Yeah, very powerful card against Kano, and you present so much damage. You're basically presenting lethal every turn.
That, and you have a huge amount of blues just to play your game, and yellows. You pitch a blue, swing a red for 6, and you still have 1 floating, and you're presenting maybe 6, 8, 9 damage? Like Barrowfang for 9 and have 1 floating left?
Yeah, or you just smack Kano in the jaw because you have so much damage.
How about Barrowfangs with an agility that might 9 go again, stare at you in the face, Kano?
Yeah.
The nice part too is you have ways to make vigor with the new cards from Super Slam. So, ooh.
Yeah, tough matchup for Kano here. This is one of the matchups you really want.
Right. Well, let's see who's going to be able to get their top 8. The players are set up. We have our staff already setting up the broadcast for us. We'll be able to just go straight into the game. 35 minutes has started. Both players are taking their time shuffling. This is the last round of Swiss. Pressure is on.
Kale versus Pycon. Kale, one of the Ontario judges that travels a lot to Montreal for the events.
They keep taking our gold foils over here. I don't know if we should start loving these guys.
No, we do. It's all love. But yes, leave some gold foils for the rest of
Friendly
us.
love rivalry, let's put it that way. PyCon, one of our local players versus Cal, one of the rare people that actually traveled out. It was a not too bad of a drive. Like I believe 2.5 hours for people from Ottawa to come all the way to Montreal. So nice to see a little people from out of our region show up. Most other people were from within a 1 hour drive from Silver Goblin itself that joined our event.
Yeah. Silver Goblin, one of the downtown Montreal LGSs. So very one of the popular LGS because it's just in the middle of everyone in Montreal. It's a great place I've been going to since I started playing card games.
Man, yeah, that's a nice part. A lot of LGSs elsewhere have to be in the suburbs or places where rent is cheaper. Somehow, in our city or province, we get to have them downtown, big commercial spots, and it's pretty sizable. We could have fit 100 players for our battlegrounds. We capped it at 64, just so that everyone has some breathing room, and pretty happy with the 50-player turnout from mostly just the area. All right, Pyken starting, going with the Kano, revealing a Voltic Bolt over here. Kayo bringing Arcane Barrier 2 and Spell Void 3. Cashing in the Spell Void this early might not be good. You want to keep it for something like Reverberate. Pycon just emptying his entire hand.
Yeah, sends a Voltic Bolt for 6. Pretty good start. It's gonna leak 4 damage? Yeah, 4 damage.
Leaking 4 damage. Happy in that situation. Arsenal 1 card.
Yeah, basically evening out their life totals.
He went and pitched his Scalding Rain. Curious, it would have been maybe a better idea to keep it in hand. Hoping for 6 dominate.
Pulping. Good card.
Pulping trigger.
Don't have the.
Do you want to respond before anything happens? I'm good to draw. Cal is one of our level 2 judges. So very by the books. Make sure you follow the rules.
Very cognizant of the triggers and the ordering. Plays very cleanly.
Compared to some other Brutes players we saw that was speeding up a little bit. Don't worry, you don't need to play as clean as a judge, but slow down. Like in bigger events, if you ever play a calling or if you ever make it to Pro Tour or a World Championship level, those are not competitive level, those are professional levels. It's much more punishing in rules.
Also, and don't pick a deck a week before the event.
Did you do that?
We don't talk about Pro Tour Singapore.
Oh no. Pro Tour Singapore, I'm just remembering Cubi without Enigma, Verdance was not to play. Oh my god. Don't look up his record. Nothing happened in Singapore.
Nothing happened in Singapore. It was just a casual trip.
Casual trip. Block with a Voltic Bolt and Absorb an Eater. Oh, Rise Up.
Rise Up, holy.
Interesting choice. It's fine because you get to choose exactly what you have on top when you Kano. But it's still
now
2 cards to block 4.
That is a cook. Now that is cooking, I will say.
That was interesting. It stopped Cal from having go again. So Cal IP'd 1, not too bad, but Pyka only has 2 cards left in hand. 3 cards. Snapback Raw.
Oof.
Raw Snapback.
Not what you want to see. I'd have liked this card in Arsenal for sure. Just on a bigger turn.
Very interesting play. Curious on the choices over here, blocking with the Voltic Bolt. I would have preferred just sending the Voltic Bolt. But that is fair. Not giving go again to Pulping was a decision. Wild Ride for 6 goes up to 7 because of the Might. Trigger, draw, and discard. Cindering Foresight in reply. Alright, Cindering Foresight in a reply. Pyka looking at top 3 of his deck. Seeing if he is going to reorder anything.
Mm.
All right. Trigger is good. Draw and discard now. Maybe a little bit overzealous playing the Cindering Foresight right away.
Rolls a 5. Bashes.
Assault and Battery blue gone. I think Pycon's happy seeing that the blue is gone from Kel's hand.
Yeah. Although blue did Kel did pitch a blue 5 power, which is 6 in KO, which means this Scarab Plating is online for Spell Void 3 if ever.
Yep. And there is an Absorb and Ether, amping the next one as well. Kayo in response, Photon Splicing, Crucible, Cindering Foresight, Absorb and Ether.
Or
Is that a blue
1,
or a red
2,
Photon Splicing?
3, 4. Is it a blue or red one? I'm not sure.
Oh, it's a red one. Thank you.
It
Thank you,
is a red
staff.
one. Yeah.
Thank you, staff.
Sure.
So here is 8
coming in for
arcane
8.
damage.
Yeah, might be the time to cash in the Scarab Plating. Yeah.
Don't know when's the next time an arcane damage is going to go that wide. All right, so 8. Cal has 1 floating.
Feels hesitating on this Scarab Plating.
Arcane
here.
Barrier 1.
I'd pay 1 to AB1.
Arcane Barrier 1 and...
Thinking on the Spell Void trigger here.
I wouldn't call it a trigger. It's a replacement effect, but yeah, they would get to choose. Would you want to cash in? Cash it in now. Cal should still have cards in their hand. 2 cards in hand. They could arcane barrel a bit more. Opting to just take.
Decides to take 7. Go to 6.
Right, Pycon is basically naked right now. Still has the unflinching Bear Fang for 8. Oh, they had 2 reds in hand. Discarding that Assault and Battery was not it. 5 damage goes through to and Pycon just takes it using his Undying Grip. Undying Grip gets the value out of it.
Unyielding Grip, yeah.
Unyielding Grip.
So Kale is gonna have a full turn of tempo here, which is a little scary for Kano. Kano's at 7. If she gets to send 2 attack wide, it should be lethal and lethal. So Kano will have to block a little bit or send enough damage for lethal. But she does still have the Spell Void 3 here.
That is a Bear Fang go again. That is, I believe, calling Montreal's stamp cards.
Yeah, Buckwild for 7 go again.
7 go again, floating 0. There still is Spell Void 3, so Pycon has to commit some block or he would be dead over here.
Yeah, so either Pycon needs to find well, here's difficult. I'm not sure what's the correct play here, Pycon.
He has an Absorbent Eater, so even if he does block, it's not going to be that great. Talismanic Lens cashed in to see if he has the kill, and he bottoms cards. That's not a good sign for Pycon.
Yeah, we'll have to blind Kano here. Need to gamba a little bit on the Emerald Scolding.
That's double. That's 2 decks that are playing a little bit blind with the top deck reliance. See if Pycon can hit the good cards. Does he block here a little bit and wait? There is an Immer Scalding. Sorry, there is a Absorbent Eater and there is a Spellfire Cloak. I think Absorbent Eater with Spellfire Cloak might have been the good choice.
Yeah, so Pycon blocking a little bit, holding on to try to potentially force Kel to play out her hand, unless she decides to just
pass turn, right?
Yeah, parse or arsenal card. Trying to see tapping Howled Ear is a little spooky, but it might be correct here.
Claw, floating 1 resource, so you can still Arcane Barrier, 1 card in hand, and you still have access to the gloves. So Snapback can't be played. Well, it's played from top deck. It doesn't matter at this point, I guess.
Yeah. So it is still coming for 6, which is a lot of damage.
Cal can Arcane Barrier and can Spell Void it. Need it as well.
I can still have 1 card in hand.
There's no red Snapback left, which is the nice part that Cal can think is, even if Pycon decides to cash in, even if Pycon arsenals a card, it's not going to be a red Snapback.
Yeah. Decides to Spell Void 1, AB2 Spell Void 1, take 1.
Spell Void 3, man. Spell Void 3.
Spellboy 3 AB. My god.
Yo, Spellboy 1
AB2
would be
Spellboy
very
3.
sad. No, it's Spellboy
And go
3.
takes 1.
Right.
Pycon did block Ford. This block with the last card here. So Kel gets another turn of full tempo here. The first attack, if it comes in for 7 or more, Pycon will have to give out 2 cards, and she will still be holding 2 cards.
That is a Bare Fangs with Beaten Tractors in the
Nope.
back.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 7 as it's a yellow. And Pycon's going to think on the trigger. Do I let you filter your cards in hand? Do I let you filter and maybe get a blue? Or do I think you have the reds in hand trying to go for the kill now? Pycon's going to opt to go for the damage. That is not what you want to see.
Aether Dart.
Blue for 1.
Yeah. To any target, though.
If only there was Ashling's. Second Kano activation. Voltic Blow blue. That was disheartening. That's not what you wanted to see here. You want to see red.
Definitely not what you want to see.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, looks like Pycon's thinking, do I play them or do I do anything else? And Kel still hasn't resolved, well, Bare Fang's trigger. Bare Fang can trigger now, it looks like.
Difficult spot for Kano because Kel is going to be threatening 7, which requires 2 cards to survive. And she will still have 2 cards to potentially AB if Kano tries to do anything.
And there's still a Beaten Tractor.
And 1 resource floating.
And a Beaten Tractor in the back.
Yeah.
This is not the spot you want to see. All right, looks like Pycon's just going to throw the Aether Dart. All right, there's a little question interaction here asking them how it works, Bare Fang and Beaten Tractors. Right now, Bare Fangs didn't resolve yet, is what I'm hearing. All right, sending Aether Dart before Bare Fang resolves.
Nice to pay 1 to survive, to stay alive here. Keeping life totals high. Don't want to get Emeritus Scolding or something like that.
It would have been nice to see red and 2 red Immers or even red and yellow from top deck. But no, it was Aether Dart and Voltic Bolt.
Yeah, red Emeritus Scolding would actually be lethal here with Crucible Aether.
It would have been very nice. But no, that's a bit unfortunate. Right, let's see how the players get out of this situation. I'm curious here, as Bare Fang has yet to resolve. Block. Oh, sorry. Yes, they're saying no, sorry. I'm allowed to resolve it? Finally, yes. Cal's going to resolve the Bare Fang. Discard 1 of the 3 cards. That's going to be 1. 1 is going to be discarded. That is Bare Fang's red drawn in discard. So, cashing that Bare Fang, that Beaten Trackers right away.
Ooh, blocking 6 here.
7, you have to block. Here's a second Bare Fang fist bump extended.
Fist bump. Yeah.
Cal locked in her top 8.
Oh, the top card was an Emeritus Scolding.
Oh my god. Red? That is disheartening, seeing that you were 1 card off.
Is it a red Emeritus Scolding?
Yeah, 1 card off.
Wow, he would have won if he just blind flipped there, if it's a red one. If it's a blue one, no. It has to be a red one.
Red would have came in for 6, and if you
with Crucible, it would come in for 7.
Would go to 7, but Cal's at 5. Oh yes, that would be exactly.
So she has AB2, yeah.
She
So the red, specifically red Emeritus would be lethal here. But yeah, Pycon wouldn't have the resource even because the yellow, yeah, because he revealed Photon and
Aether Dart and
Voltic Bolt. Yeah, so he didn't have. Yeah, it had to be the red one. There's no way to keep in 20 for M.
Look in his hand. I believe Pycon has blue twinning and red Aether Scalding Rain. That's why they can cash in.
Yeah.
If you had 1 more blue, close. Maybe.
So Kale locked in top 8 here. Congratulations to Kale.
Guys, after 6 rounds of Swiss, we have our top 8. Let's go take a look. Who are they?
All right.
We had 2 Oldhams and 1 of them made it. Only 1 Ira made it and only 1 KO made it. Those were the most represented deck. And then the Fis, we had a small number of Fis and 3 of them in the top 8.
Yeah, really a strong dominance from Fi here. Looking like Fi is a pretty good counter pick to KO apparently. it makes sense. The Ornate Tessin, it just gives you like such a big turn when you pop all of your gear and you go Crouching Tiger, gain a resource, bottom your Crouching Tiger. Oh no, sorry. You go
Bottom your Phoenix Flame.
bottom your Phoenix Flame, bottom your Phoenix Flame to draw an extra. And it seems like it's just enough to race the KO.
Yeah.
Looking at this graph, this looks like a pretty good bracket for Oldhim actually. Like the only matchups you don't want to see is Kano and Florian, but both of those techs kind of have a rough time into
The full aggro of Fi.
yeah.
Like his two decks he doesn't want to face are against Fi's. So yeah, looking at the spot, we have a very interesting bracket. See if our first seed Lemire, famous Jonathan Lemire over here. If you guys never saw him, go look at Battle Hardened Hartford. He was that one guy playing Fatigue Guardians.
He is known as a Fatigue player until he isn't a Fatigue player.
Shout out to Fatigue Bread. That's his name on Discord. All right.
But once in a blue moon, he will pull out an aggro Guardian deck, and you're fully expecting Fatigue, and you get smothered a little bit.
You guys didn't play with him from the get-go. He was a 5-player, then went into Dash, then went to Fatigue Dash. My goodness, he changed so much. But yeah, let's go into our first game of the top 8. We were talking about how Florian is one of the decks that could potentially defeat that Oldhim over there. And the important question over here is, can Florian actually get out? So this is our quarter matchup. Simon is higher
seed?
Yeah, he was seed number 3.
Yeah, so this is a tough matchup for Florian because Fi is a pretty aggressive deck, but Fi presents a lot of awkward breakpoints. Usually Florian thrives on on defending like mid-range decks because of all of the D-reacts you have and just like Embodiment of Earth, allowing you to block like tall attacks with like one card, and just like stacking their rune gems and eventually kill them. But against Fi, because it's a bunch of like small little jabs for one, it's really hard for Florian to actually get the maximum value of his block cards.
It is a plume. I was gonna expect a defending gear here, and we're seeing Blossom of Spring, a Garland of Spring, and a Reaping Blade. So Henry here knows he has to play aggro. He doesn't have time to just fully commit attacks. We see a Colors of Aria in his hand. Sigil of Suffering, I believe, is the second card. And a Rotwood in hand. Don't think Rotwood is the play. You don't have time to stack. It's too greedy. Sand 7 damage, I think, is the play.
And well, it's hard for Florian here because you can't really play for Fatigue.
I think it would have been better to play the Incantation.
I think the Chorus makes sense. Well, you would want to play the both if you can, but Chorus makes sense because you're still making 3 rune chants. You're just not decomposing, which is okay. It's free value on turn 0.
I think it would have been okay.
Arsenal will reduce to rune chant too, so it makes a lot of sense because he wants rune chants to be able to reduce for free.
And that's a Sigil of Suffering in his hand as well. Simon over here opting to bring Arcane Barrier on Mask. Not going to get its Spellvoid value, unfortunately. Yeah, it has to pitch to a Phoenix Flame.
Looks like he didn't find a starter here and has to go get a Phoenix Flame.
So he's not... So Henry wasn't as hard punished over here. I would have been happier sending the Colors of Aria, but unfortunately his hand was full red. That's Display Loyalty, 3 go again. You could send a Sigil, either Sigil or... Okay. Colors of Aria was the blocking card. Hot on her heels, 3 go again. The mark here does not matter. You're not playing Syndra.
Yeah, it can give you some draconic chain links on some attacks that you would want them to be draconic.
The marking you don't get felties.
Oh, sorry.
Just marks,
fealty, but not the mark. Yeah.
Just natural 4.
Natural 4. Yeah.
Sigil of Suffering. Silver Suffering. Ping 1 arcane damage. And yeah, 4 block is very good. 4. So
yeah, cleanly blocks his whole turn.
That's one of the rare decks that actually has defense reactions that blocks for 4. You have Rootbound Carapace, your Sigil of Suffering, and your Reduced to Rune Chance. Right? Gain 1 life cannot be done because of Reaping Blade. Get to Rune Chance. Crack Garland?
And
No, passing his
no, just
turn.
pass. Yeah, he's. I think this version of Florian needs to play for the stack end game, even though it's not the ideal strategy into aggro decks. You still have to try to stack
I
them.
think it would have been perfectly fine to just swing for 3+5 and leak some damage.
I mean, it's not pushing lethal here. He can still wait. Like he can do it next turn if you want to. But in general, I feel just playing this defensive. Use your value from your defense reactions and try to stack as much as you can. Makes sense. Seems like he's trying to hold on to this reduced to rune chant to maybe potentially just make 2 rune chants off of the reduce, which is very powerful.
Very
because then
fair.
it's a 1 card 6.
He just wants to be online as fast as possible. Remember, this is young Florian. You only need 4 cards.
Yeah. Also, Henry, a very experienced Florian player. One of the 2 players in Montreal that have LL points on Florian. Then the other one is me.
Not you.
No, it is me. I want a PQ stack Florian.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Jimmy also won on the first weekend. But we see here.
No.
Oh, was it on Verdansk?
No, it was Verdansk.
Oh, it was Verdansk. Yeah. We see a second Carapace in hand, so he could be online right here.
Does he have enough cards in graveyard to actually decompose? I believe not, because the rootbound is still on the chain here. Simon would have to close the chain.
Chant. That's what cashed
so
in.
Unfortunately, needs to use this reduce because he doesn't want to IP a card, which makes sense. Still makes rune chant. He's still stacking. It's okay. Gets to Arsenal at D-React, so he's not like wasting value actively. I like this.
I'd be happier seeing a mid-range game plan instead, though.
Yeah, but this Florian list does not have the space for that. I think I believe it's just like he needs to stack, and it's the only strategy he can play because he just doesn't have enough cards sideboard to.
I mean, change a little bit just to be able to go mid-range and have blocking gear on helmet. But Plume is insane value. Just pitch to Plume, bring back the Arcane Seed's life, and replay the Arcane Seed's life. We do see a Cadaver's Tilling in hand, Sift, Arcane Seed's life number 1 and 2.
Yeah, Plume's also good for late game. When you have 2 blues, you can just go recurrent Earth big attack to send your rune chants. You can like send like either Cadaver's or Colors of Aria. Probably Colors of I'm assuming he doesn't play Cadaver's Tilling because he wants to block 3. He could still be playing.
He has a Cadaver's in hand, is what I noticed here.
Oh,
yeah, that was a Cadaver's Tilling. So I think.
So you recur Cadaver's with Plume.
I think what's gonna happen this hand is block with decompose with Rootbound, be online and just shoot out. My God, losing words here. Be online. You have Arcane Seed's life 1 in hand. You can play Arcane Seed's life number 2 off Plume.
Yeah, make 4 rune chants.
8 rune chants. Because you'll be online. And just send Cadaverous for 8+8.
No, it's 4. Because it's Arcane Seed's life is create a rune chant, create a rune chant.
I'm saying play the first one that we see in his hand and use Plume to recur it. It would be the play.
Oh, I see.
That's what I think. And you're happily taking the damage here so that your Arcane Seed's life would actually heal you. Right? Display loyalty, remaking back that Felty. Now 4 go again. Those weird breakpoints are annoying. This is where I think the Rootbounder is going to be cashed in. Blocking for 4.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to look at his hand. He has a second Rootbound Carapace in his hand. There's a Rootbound yellow.
This is a pretty good start actually for Henry here. Like getting online this early, albeit you only need 4 Earth cards to be online in Silver Age with the young hero.
Right, but also
this is pretty early.
Ooh.
And he hasn't seen much of his rune chant generator, so a lot of his rune chant generators are gonna come in for double the value.
And he's very happy how slow the game started for Simon. Simon had to attack with a Phoenix Flame for 0 on turn 1. All right, Henry going down a little bit. He has the Carapace in hand still that he could play, Arcane Seed's life, and Cadaver's Tilling.
Yeah, he might pivot here to start swinging because he's online now. So, because as you did say, he doesn't need to. He just needs to send big damage, and Fi just is very bad at blocking rune chants because he's not running any.
Also, Fi has blocks 2s in deck, right?
Yeah. So yeah, send the Cadaverous.
That is 10 arcane with 8 physical.
10 and 8.
Looks like Simon will take a second if he is Arcane Barrier any, and he still has his gear that he could say, oh, I'm going to block with these. That is, let's see, Lava Burst, Brandwood Cinderclaw, Ronin Renegade, and I believe Rising Resentment. There's no blue in that hand. That is not the situation. Oh, no, sorry, that's a Lava Burst, yeah. That's not the situation you want to be in when staring down 10 Rune Chants. Rune Chant might have to be taken, and the gear is going to be cashed in. You're happy seeing your opponent at 13 HP because your hand presents more than 13 currently. It's a 3/3/3 plus Phoenix Flame and 5. So that's 15 damage without counting the arsenal and the glove boots.
I'll probably has to take the Rune Chance here and maybe cover the Cadaver's Tilling. It's going to take a while for Henry to stack up another big stack of Rune Chance. So maybe he can just block out with equipment or send pressure.
Yeah, I think blocking with the equipment is the correct play over here. The important question becomes, will Henry have another real attack? Or even then, he still has a Reaping Blade that he could just swing. That Simon will have to start giving cards.
Yeah, we have seen both Arcane Seed's life played already. So what's left in the deck is like Read the Runes, Rune Blood Incantation, which give Rune Chance, but not immediate value, because you have to wait for next turn. So it is a little scary for Henry here, because he won't find like a clean way to make Rune Chance and send a big attack.
There's still the plume to recur the Arcane Seed's life if needed.
Yeah, he can still do that. It will depend on the game texture here. He might not have space to do it because of how aggressive Fi is. So I'm very curious to see how this plays out.
8 physical, Simon doing exactly what we're theory crafting earlier. Throw in your gear. I'm going to take the rest.
Not 3. Probably taking the rest, yeah.
Take 5, go to 4, and let me strip your entire hand.
Run to the hills, yeah. Because Simo knows that Henry will have a pressure enough damage to put him in a game-losing position if he just immediately goes for an attack. Unless he finds a second Cadaver Ceiling, which could be very powerful here. Because then Simo would be forced to give 2 cards. But yeah, we should. Simo's doing the right thing, I believe. Just like keeping all the cards in hand and just like pushing for pressure and just like trying to stop Henry for setting up before the next big rune game.
I think we just saw all the cadavers, Rootbound Carapace, as there's a new one in Henry's hand, and then his arsenal is the last one.
Yeah, Ronin Renegade. Henry puts it in the 3 block.
Oh, that was a Ravenous Rabble, the promo art. Very nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't show well on camera, unfortunately, because it's super dark. But 4 go again. He didn't make it Dragonic off of the...
a known bling enjoyer in Montreal plays a lot of shiny cards in his decks.
We don't know who we're talking about at all here. Yeah. All right, it's 4, and now Henry has to decide: do I play Rootbound Carapace, blocking? Do I decompose?
Is that the second chorus of Iron of Rotwood in his hand?
That is the last chorus in hand. It's unfortunately there's no embodiments of Earth, so it only block for base. So here is just Rootbound blocking for 3, taking 1, no decompose. All right, that is Growl for 3 go again.
You Growl into Crouching Tiger for 3?
Yeah, Crouching Tiger's gonna come in for 3. So I'm in here playing it very diligent, placing an arsenal, waiting for the big turn.
Only 1 Draconic Chainlink for now. But we do see a Brandwood Cinderclaw in hand, so he could go to at least 2 and maybe get a Phoenix Flame with the chess piece, or I'm not sure what's the second card is. But this is
in Simon's hand, you meant?
Yes.
There's a Lava Burst, and I believe it's a Rising.
Ooh, Lava Burst. Yeah. So he could go for like Crouching Tiger here for 3, and then like gain a resource, Phoenix Flame for 1. Well, Brandwood Cinderclaw, gain a resource, send the Phoenix Flame.
I think the brand's gonna be used for a sword. Actually, it's a yellow, if I remember.
Oh, it's a yellow.
Yeah, if I saw it correctly. So here's 3.
That makes more sense.
Why is going ultra wide? Yeah, that's a Lava Burst and a Brandwood Cinderclaw. I believe it's a yellow Cinderclaw.
Yeah, so yeah, Searing Emberblade would be better.
Zero
here.
Amber Blade for 3 go again.
Yeah, and then he can pop chest to get Phoenix Flame and 2 Lava Burst, which would be 6 more damage after.
I'm curious here why Simon decided not to break the fealty to give one of the attacks Dragonic.
That is true, but well, to be fair,
Yeah, the
this is the
resource does
last
nothing.
time. Yeah. This is the only time he'll get to gain a resource from the chest piece, so might as well look cool on camera and go for exact resources.
That's
And he gets to keep the fealty for next turn if it comes up. So
if he
it is
needs.
not.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like it a lot. He's using the resource from the chests on the only time he can use it, and he's keeping a fealty for next turn until in case his hand is a little awkward. Like let's say he draws his next growl, he could send in for as a draconic chain on the first one.
Simon doing exactly what you described over here, getting his Phoenix Flame. He's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide, and he has a 7th card in hand that we know it's a Lava Burst. He's not threatening exact lethal on Henry. He's going to leave him down at 1, but that's what you want to see as Fi. Your opponent's at 1, and I have a Phoenix Flame every turn, and I have some cards that come for breakpoints for 4.
So now Henry here needs to think a little bit. He still has Well Ground. He has the Plume. The Plume's probably not going to be relevant for the rest of the game. But here he could Garland of Spring, play the chorus, make 3 Rune Chants, and have 2 Embodiment of Earth, which could help depending, but it is a little hard.
I think it was a bit greedy from Henry's part deciding not to decompose, as he wanted to decompose on the chorus. I don't think the chorus getting your bottoms of earths are actually insane value, as you're just
a little
blocking
bit of
3.
a punish here, but he does still have a Root Bound in hand right now, which he could use. Decides to go to 1.
He's probably looking
really
to
scary.
arsenal that Rootbound Carapace.
Yeah, the going to 1 here actually, well, it can be scary. He does have Well Ground to cover the awkward breakpoints. If he sends like Phoenix Flames for 1 and stuff like that. So probably going to go with Garden of Spring, Chorus of Rotwood, Arsenal, the Rootbound Carapace. Try to survive 1 more turn. If he gets to survive 1 more turn and attack, I think Simon is in a very, very bad spot if he gets to attack, which we'll see what Simon's hand cooks up this turn.
So that's 2 in bottom rows, 4 Rune Chants, and I'm banking not a defense reaction. You have no idea, Simon. It's not a defense reaction. And he still has access to Well Grounded. I'm just not happy with the Plume that doesn't have any defensive value.
Yeah, it could have been Helm of Ligman Vitae if he had it in his.
And there's a reduced to Rune Chance in hand.
He doesn't know.
Reduced to Rune Chance, or read the runes, I believe, is the second card.
Just in time for making Rune Chance. This card would have been awful if you didn't play the Chorus of Rotwood. Henry showing his experience on the Florian. Has been playing Florian for a long time, knows how this deck works, knows the ins and outs. Plays it in CC, played it in LLL, and now playing it in Silver Age. He is an all-format Florian player.
All-format player here. When you're a fan of a style of deck and you play it everywhere, you know the deck is good. Alright, so we're just getting just headjap.exe from Simon over here, getting a free Phoenix Flame that he can spin and throw 1, forcing you to block with a card. And he's making Henry guess, what is my last card? Am I going to send it? Am I going to arsenal it? Are you going to commit a card? Are you going to commit your Well Grounded?
Well Ground has 1 more prevention effect floating.
I'm sending my sword.
Searing Blade for 3.
And you have to block.
We'll have to give a card here.
You have to block a card.
Still has a Rootbound in Arsenal.
Rootbound not getting the full value out of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only card that Henry could have that would send this Rune Chant attack would be Amplify the Arc Knight or Rune Flash, which I believe it's not the case.
He could send his Reaping Blade.
He could still send a Reaping Blade, that is true.
That's the nice part. Realizing that you're playing a mid-range game instead of a full
it's not
pitch.
Scepter of Pain. Ooh, 6 and 3. Small will have to pitch cards. Did he just draw 2 blues?
It looks like he's pitching reds.
No shot. Oh, it's reds?
Yeah.
If Simon draws a blue here, he's in a very good spot. I'm not sure of the colors of the card, but
no, it's a yellow. It's a yellow.
The yellow.
Yeah, it's a yellow and a red, and he's gonna commit block 2, take 1.
No, it's a yellow and a blue, right? Because he would have.
No, he took 1 and 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he plays Snatch for 4. That is the Mahjong Snatch too. This guy with his blinged out deck, but not gear. I'm not sure if his mask it was cold foil. The last thing he'll need left would be the Faulty
They're
Marvel.
reduced here. Oh, interesting.
He,
I would have liked just a reduce block here and send this Colors of Aria for 2 Rinchins and 7.
the reduce is yellow, unfortunately.
Oh, it's yellow. Oh, true. He did play the 2 red ones.
Yeah, like the part I realized looking at Henry play, he plays red and yellow just to be able to get as much value as he could.
Yeah, that makes sense. The yellow one is a 1 card 5 because you make 2 Rinchins 1 year. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the CC stack Florian list was playing 28 reactions or block cards.
All right, look at Henry's turn. It's going to be swing my sword. Like swinging the sword, just take back some tempo from Simon is the correct play.
It forces out 2 cards at least, which is pretty good here.
You're not going to be able to stack enough, and Fi can just arcane barrier all your rune chants.
Yeah, both players on their ropes right now, trying to push the 1 damage you need.
Right. If I am in Henry spot, I'm searching to get a blue so I can cash in the plume and draw and bring back Arcane Seed's life, bringing crucially that 1 HP and 4 rune chance. Right now, 2 and 3. You need to arcane barrier at least one or you're dead, and you need to block or else you're dead as well. Split damage, classic rune blades. Kind of reminds me of Rosetta Thorn.
Kind of, with a lot of extra steps.
It's Rosetta Thorn with extra steps. Brandwood Citaclaw Yellow was pitched, prevent rune chance, and Simon is going to block with an Inflame.
Which is 2 block or 3 block?
It's a 3 block. It's a conditional Dragonic conditional go again, so it's a 3 block.
Yeah.
All right.
Fire Tenant.
Fire Tenant for 3, and his next attack is going to come in for 4. He's going to strip 4 cards from Henry's
4
hand.
cards. Unless Henry has... I don't think he has any D-Rex that block 4 left.
No, he doesn't. We saw him play all of them. Well, even if he had some...
Sigil of Suffering, actually.
Ooh, Sigil of Suffering. Simon taking a 1 forest covered and Inflame for 3. Go again. 3, no go again. Henry has to block or he's going to die. And those cards are blocked too.
No,
that's not the spot you want to be in.
That is tough. You will have to send this measly Reaping Blade for 3 or Arsenal. Probably just sending this Reaping Blade.
Then the Reaping Blade.
There's a chance Fi draws only 2 blocks and has to give 2 cards.
If you send the Reaping Blade though, Simon would just win. You just need to head jab 3 times Phoenix Flame. And you would remove every card left from Henry's.
3 with the Lava Burst. This is not the spot you want to be in as Florian.
Simon going through his deck, going through Henry's graveyard, ensuring there's no Sigils of Suffering left. Rolling Renegade 3, go again. Block has to be committed.
Blocks with Sigil of Sylphidae.
Modern Heals, it's headjob.exe at this point.
Yeah.
Burning Blade Dance, Hot on the Heels.
Oh, and then he gets to send a Phoenix Flame for 1, rips out Henry's full hand here.
Entire hand. Now with a 4-card hand and a Phoenix Flame.
At least he gets to discard
with 2, take 1.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the best that Henry could have asked for in this situation. But at this point, 4-card hand with a Phoenix Flame that's going to come in for free. That is a Ravenous Rabble.
Oh, that's a reduce with no rune chance.
Ravenous Rabble. Coming hot. What has to be played, reduced to rune chant, and he has to pitch for it.
He did have a direct that block 4 left.
Oh, well, unfortunately he has to pay for it, and here's the Blaze Headling, another 4.
And then he
has to commit hand, and he is dead.
GG. Close game, very close game.
That was a very good back and forth. Looking at this game, disheartening for Henry having 2 blocks at the worst timing.
Yeah, I had a feeling Florian would have a really bad time into 5, but the game was a lot closer than I thought.
I would love to see more 3 blocks in the deck, but it's Sage. Your deck is so tight as you.
Yes, Earth cards that block 3 is a premium in every format actually for Earth heroes.
Remember back in the days when they had to ban Autumn's Touch so that Starvel is the last consistent. Man, good old days. All right, well, we have our quarter game done. let's go look at who made the top 8. Jonathan won against Eric here. The very high level players duking it out, and Lemire on his fatigue Oldham won it out.
Yes. So this is actually a rematch from Swiss, where Eric played against Jonathan in Swiss, and Eric did come up to me and tell me this matchup is 0%.
Specifically, how Jonathan built it. I understand.
Because of how Jonathan's list is built and how Eric's list is built, it is a very, very rough matchup.
Very rough matchup. Well, over here, we saw on the bottom bracket, we see Dahlia second seed lose to Kevin. Kevin, will he be able to do a second upset against Simon, now against the third seed? And we're going to see what happens. Over here, we have not seen an Oldham the entire game. We're happy to see what kind of game plan he has, because he was 5-0 before round 6. All right, jumping into the game. It's boost time, apparently, and these players will take their time playing it out. Unfortunately, you can't fat stack or add extra cards. This isn't CC or Living Legends where you have access to Tiger Stripe Shuko, where you could go Phoenix Flame 1, Sword, Phoenix Flame 2 for the fatigue matchups.
Yeah, Oldham also notably has his reaction, his Oldham ability is pretty powerful against Fi. Both sides. The Earth one is like the prevent 2 just like covers the breakpoints, and the Ice one just putting a card on top is very annoying for Fi. Fi does get the ability to just tutor a Phoenix Flame and put the Phoenix Flame on top if he doesn't want to lose a card, but that is also very bad because you're drawing a Phoenix Flame next turn. So really curious to see how this matchup goes.
Right. The important question is our guy here, Olivier, on Kodachi's. Well, we see Emberblade now, so it's not the Ornate Tensen. And how many Phoenix Flames do they have in their list? If they're running the solo Phoenix Flame, they might not be able to win the fatigue, but if they're running more than one, they might have a good chance.
Yeah. I usually assume the 5 players are running more than one. I would hope.
Sure, hope so as well.
All right. So Jonathan presenting the Civic Peak, Civic Duty, Civic Steps, and Blade Beckoner Gauntlet. Starts his turn. Titan's Face for 4.
Started well. Swing for 4. Looking at the fine says, hey, I'm the higher seed. I am playing for fatigue. My game plan is to remove as many of your cards as possible. Yeah.
Arsenal's a card. I believe that's 2 block cards in hand, 2 clashes.
They don't actually clash because it's Guardian Clash only, right?
Yeah. It's Clash of Arms and Legs.
Ooh, Brandwood Stern Claw yellow being swung instead.
Yeah, Clash of something, which does not trigger, but it is a clash card. All right, Fire Tenant Strike first. Come in for 3. Another clash card on the chain. Block 4. Block 4. I will bet next card blocks 4. Let's see it.
Sword for 4.
Oh, sword for 4. Block 4. There we go.
Hey, I was pretty sure that he banned defense reactions for 4.
Yeah. Then block 1 on the Blade with Blade Beckoner Gauntlet.
Lava Burst for
5.
I'm not sure if that was a correct play. I feel it would have been better to Arsenal.
Staunch response in Arsenal.
Yes, you consumed 3 cards, put back 1 in your deck. I put back 1 in my deck as well, said Jonathan here. I'm not sure Olivier's play of playing the Lava Burst is correct. I feel you need to play a longer and wider turn. Well, there's a second Lava Burst. And a Banneret, I believe.
To be fair, it could, if he didn't have the Staunch Response, would have probably leaked 2 damage. He still has a lot of fridge here, but you do have to kind of play an off turn, on turn kind of strategy where you're doing 1 turn of setup, 1 turn of big turn, 1 turn of setup, 1 turn of big turn. That seems like the only way you can really leak damage against a deck like Oldham. Although it is still pretty hard because the Ice React just snuffs out your turn sometimes, and sometimes you really need that extra card to deal the big damage turn.
It is still a 1 card for 1 card trade. That is not what you want to do. Oh goodness. bringing back the Phoenix Flame, discarding right away, forego again, costing 2 cards. But you draw back
Yeah,
and replace a card.
not a great start of the turn, but the turn can still convert pretty well.
I'm not sure pitching the energy potion is the play. I would believe playing the energy potion and arsenaling the lava burst so that you could have a free sword and a lava burst also.
It really depends on the number of blues Olivier is playing. Because if he's on a low blue count, maybe you're gonna need blues for a late game.
Yeah,
To
we saw
just
both
go.
energy potions gone now, though. I do believe you want to play one of the two, just to have one free turn where you're playing 4-card hand plus Arsenal plus Phoenix Flame plus Tigers, plus a Tiger. You have a free Amber Blade inside. That's the biggest burst turn you could do. They opted not to bring Kodachis, so unfortunately, there's not the out of just being able to go Wrath of Retribution.
Yeah. So maybe curious to see how this plays out. But yeah, I would have liked to see maybe an option here. The hen is not great because you have to use this fight that burns within and pitch a blue to go get your Phoenix Flame. So this could have been a really good off turn. Yeah, okay. This hand would have been a lot better, I think, as an off turn setup, maybe.
That's very unfortunate. Maybe Olivia was playing a gamble over here, hoping to draw a good cards with the fire that burns.
Yeah. Could be setting up a pitch check, but it didn't seem like a particularly strong pitch check right now. We'll see what else he pitches.
Right. Let's see. Hammer. And Olivia just gives all his gear, being ready at any time to cash in and just do some damage.
Yeah, normally Olim doesn't play that many attacks with on hits, and usually, in this type of strategy where Olim's just trying to block with everything, the crush effects aren't gonna be too relevant. I'm assuming
it would be useful if Jonathan here is opting to go for attacks, but we know him as a defensive fatigue player, so the game now it's not my HP. It's about how many cards you have left in your deck. That is the real resource that matters.
yes, Jonathan, always fatiguing, been fatiguing since 2020 something.
Jonathan Lemire, fatigue since or established since. That could be a good brand. I don't know if people want to wear that on a shirt. Fatigued since. For people that don't play Fab, maybe it would sound weird. Fatigued. They would think that you're just tired.
That is true.
All right, seeing Olivier going with his line of damage, going with the Rise from the Ashes to start. That was the only Phoenix Flame. I don't know if there was a second Phoenix Flame in graveyard, so that's 3 go again.
Also, notably, I believe Olivier is this is his first Flesh and Blood event, I think, and he got into top 8.
Yeah, converted from Magic. Long-time high-level Magic player. Played the Silver Age Armories once or twice. From the chat I spoke, he would not have played this game if Silver Age was not created, as he didn't want to invest heavily into a new card game. This is his first quote-unquote big tournament, like something higher than just a locals. He played locals once or twice, I believe. And then into a big event like this, 50-something players with prize money and potential PTI on the line, and he's already in top 8. Actually making even the top 4 getting the extra promo. So that is into a snatch. Johnson saying, okay, I'm gonna give you an agility here. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
A quicken token, sorry. All right, so that was a big wide turn, and Johnson still hasn't taken damage.
Still 20 life.
No life has taken yet. We saw the nice Rootbound Carapace, but Johnson didn't even need to use the Decompose effect. Okay, so it's back to Olivier. Let's see if he's going to be able to have an off turn like you described and actually set up a big offense. You're okay letting Jonathan attack you. You're just going to take the hammer swing. It is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Because right now, Jonathan doesn't have an arsenal, so there's no chance that he sends a real disrupt effect.
Yeah, we're sitting here, a Rolling Renegade, a Blaze Headlong, and 2 other cards I'm not too sure.
We'll wait for them to cycle. And once we do have a better
we go
budget, it
again.
would be nice to have a hand cam as well. That's double blaze head along.
Ooh, double blaze.
Oh, he's pitching them.
Pitching. Okay, so it looks like he's maybe starting a pitch deck here and doesn't be like I think that is the correct approach into a fatigue matchup. You want to be sending this Emberblade every turn to just try to rip card damage and like keep your good cards on a power turn.
Very fair. And the arsenal is going to be a rake.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Actually,
The rake here,
that
and he
getting
has
ready
a
for
felty.
that turn.
He's going to be able to
if
crack the felty to make his Tiger Dragonic so that he does gain the bonus damage on it as well. So it could be a 5 or a 6 value off that rake. That's an
Alternatively, it's a little awkward because of how many clash cards Golden plays. A lot of 4 blocks. So like actually, ideally, your rake target should like you would want it to be Blaze Headlong because then you can send 5 and 5, and that becomes slightly awkward for Jonathan here to block 5 damage. Because pumping your head jabs for 3 at 4, it's like kind of plays into the clash cards.
a little bit awkward indeed. We're just going to see how this happens. Macho Grande is the block. Rake over the coals played right away. That's 4.
Yeah, makes sense.
Jonathan pitching to Oldham ability.
Yeah, 2 prevention, float in.
Well, 1 floating after this is what he's
yeah, floating
gesturing over here. That's 4 go again. The Tigers popped, Felty popped. 3 go again.
Yeah. It should be 2, right? This is not
no 3 because it's Dragonic. Rake buffs all dragons. Dragonic attacks.
Yeah, but is Crouching Tiger? No, Crouching Tiger isn't Draconic, right?
He crashed into Felty.
Oh, we had a Felty. Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, that's how I was talking earlier. Yeah, the Felty from earlier, you cash it in with the Rake Deek over the coals and the Tiger parts, and boom, damage. Now, the important question is how much resource left and everything. If you have a blue and if you have a fire that burns within, you can discard that Phoenix Flame. So, depends how this lines up. Civic Peak giving a
Vigor token.
Here's a free resource. Never hear me complaining about that. Blossom cashed in.
If this is the pop-off turn, right? You would want the Vigor on.
And here is
next turn is
here is the exact thing I mentioned. Pop right away, draw. That's gonna be 5 go again. Is he forgetting his rake the entire turn? There you go. He adjusted. Here's one of his clash cards he mentioned. Jonathan freeing his first damage in the game. And we're roughly 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, so very, very good use of Civic Peak here from Jonathan. Knowing that this is the on turn, so next turn should be an off turn. So giving the Vigor on the off turn, pretty efficient for the fatigue game plan here.
Oh no, and just look at the hand of Olivier. He drew a Banner of Phoenix. And a Phoenix Flame. That's not what you wanted to see off Fire That Burns Within. So here's 2 go again.
Yeah, a little tragic on Olivier's side here.
Mount Anger for 6. That rate got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 value. Wish it got 6 values, but you can't complain. This is the first time you dealt damage.
Yeah.
And he gets
blocks with Civic Peak.
Blocks with Civic Peak, giving him a draw because Compounding Anger doesn't have go again.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense here. Yeah, Jonathan, a very experienced Guardian player, showing us how to efficiently use the Civic equipment to try to minimize the value your opponent would be getting from the resource you're giving.
Yeah, he's min-maxing a lot of his turns, as we can see here, giving them the vows where it doesn't matter, and blocking very much a lot at the start. Now, Olivier is basically naked, so once he has to start blocking, it's going to be half the cards from his hand. The moment Jonathan starts sending any attack with some disruption effect, it could spell the doom for Olivier here. That is a Colors of Aria in hand. There's a very cool interaction you can do with Oldham's defense reaction ability.
Yes, so Colors of Aria being Earth, Ice, and Lightning when it is faced up, you can pitch it to Oldham to trigger both Earth and Ice.
We'll still need to pitch another card with it because Oldham's defense reaction costs 3.
Yes, cost 3.
But you're effectively blocking 2 and removing a card. So with 2 cards, you're getting 5 value.
Yeah,
Not
and
bad.
I believe Jonathan might be playing Oasis Respite to cover the one floating resource that would be usually wasted.
Oasis Respite is in the list. All right, the banner has been played. Fail to search, as we already saw both Phoenix Flames. One discarded and one drawn off fire that burns within.
Phoenix banner makes a ponder.
Yep. So this just makes a ponder, and it's a red for red reasons. Not sure if playing it was the play.
I mean, this is actually pretty good. I feel like you're instead of taking an off turn, you're like doing a semi off turn, and you're still arsenaling cards. So you're like kind of still doing an off turn because you're gonna have a 5-card hand next turn, but you're still sending pressure here. I like this a lot.
It's fine, but the Phoenix banner does nothing here.
That is true. But rake over to Coles.
I mean, it's fine. It makes a ponder, so you're actually replacing with a better card. Rake over the clothes, I believe, played a little bit too aggressively. Would have been better to arsenal and play a full 5-card hand. And there is what we mentioned: colors of area, punishing the rake over the coals.
Yeah. Very, very powerful card here. It is also the only Ice Earth card in Silver Age, I believe. Technically.
Ice, Earth, and Silver. Let's search it up. I'm pretty sure there's none other.
Yeah, I believe all the Ice Earth cards are Majestic. So Cards of Area is like the only card that has both elements for this specific purpose.
Actually, yeah, you're correct. It's the only card that's lower rarity.
Yeah. Oh, and pitches the Oasis for San's response.
Didn't even need to play the staunch response. He's just keeping as many cards as he can in his deck.
This is a very powerful pitch check here. Pitching a red, the blue, and the Oasis to cover the one resource that would be wasted on over pitching for the Oldham ability. So Jonathan's showing us that he knows exactly what he's doing, setting up the pitch check for later. It is also gonna probably line up at the same time as the double blaze headlong turn. So Jonathan is setting up a pretty strong pitch deck here.
This pitch deck is set up. Olivier has Arsenal and 4 cards in hand. That is a fire tenant, so he might be able to leak some damage. Rake over the coals is gone, and the gear as well. So the highest damage ceiling turn is no longer available. So now, right now, you're just going to keep playing headjob.exe, hoping that you leak enough damage or you run out of cards from your opponent's deck. But Jonathan has been strategically pitching cards, ensuring that he has cards left in his deck.
Yeah. Jonathan is in his happy place when he gets to pitch defensively. Comes the Blaze Headlong for 5. So Olivier assessing that the awkward breakpoint for Oldham is 5. Which is really good here because he did have the Clash here to block 4, but now it's coming for 5. So Jonathan needs to think if he's going to let him leak 1 damage or just overblock or maybe block with gear. But I believe he's just going to take 1.
It's leaking damage here is okay. Your opponent only has half their deck left, and you have more than half your health. I really don't see how he can come out of this.
Exactly here. But it is good that Olivier has realized that 5 is kind of the number you want to be sending into this type of deck because it is the most awkward one to block for Jonathan's deck.
We're asking now. Jonathan's asking for a card count. They are at less than 15.
Yeah.
And then he uses Oldham ability, Colors of Area, and a Autumn's Touch.
All right. So opts in to use Oldham ability to cover the breakpoint here, and possibly make. This does make Fi's turn very awkward here because the compounding anger he won't have a way to play it.
Yeah, it's not the happy spot. Curious why he didn't start with the Brandwood Cinderella, but looking here, I guess the best play is just swing the Phoenix Flame.
If he has a Draconic attack in Arsenal here, he could have sent the Compounding Anger, but it seems like he doesn't have it since he kept the Brandwood Cinderclaw.
Standing the Ember Blade is the play. Block 1, prevent 1, take 1.
All right, so I'm curious to see what Olivier has in Arsenal right now because I'm assuming it is not a draconic card. Oh,
Honor
it is
heal.
Hell Under Heals.
I
So he could have played Compounding Anger if he wanted to instead of
No,
sending
he would
three.
be missing. He would be missing one. The Fire Tenant is not dragonic.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so okay, that makes sense then.
Fine math, man.
Fire Tenet Strike First not being a draconic card is such a crime. The card, you look at the card and it just looks like a draconic card.
It's a guy that wants to be dragonic. He's not dragonic. Man, it's very sad seeing this game state, but Olivier's actually punching through, doing some damage. Jonathan not having an arsenal, 4 cards in hand, his gear all blocked at least once. So at this point, Olivier might be able to start cashing in. There's a lava burst we saw from early on. That was his turn 2 pitch. So we're already at the pitch stack. Next turn, we're going to see the energy potion. So the question now is, how's Olivier going to close this up? Will he going to play one of the energy potions, Arsenal Lava Burst, play a half hand, set up for a real turn? Or is he going to keep going pedal to the metal and hope that Jonathan runs out of cards before him?
Yeah. I'm expecting possibly.
And here is the
here.
anger we saw from earlier.
Yeah, this hand is a little bit awkward. This Compounding Anger is
Compounding Anger,
what you
Lava
wanna be sending.
Vein, Loyalty, Lava Burst, and I didn't see the last card.
I would probably try to go for an off turn here, knowing that both colors of Aria are at the bottom of your deck. Yeah, very nice. Getting the Phoenix Flame just to filter and just set up the off turn. Arsenaling a card. Yeah, just converting his hand in a way where he's gonna draw a card.
Right. Olivier gave a lot of breathing room to Jonathan over here. But Jonathan's hand has an Oasis Respite
does not
and
convert
Clash.
at all. Oasis and 3 Clash cards.
He's going to Arsenal an Oasis Respite. But yes, throwing Hammer for 4. 3. He doesn't even have any pitch value. Sorry, any cards that have cost. So his Titan Fist was just 3.
I do want to say this is Olivier's first competitive event, and he's playing very, very well the matchup.
I guess it's the experience from all the Magic games. Yes, it lets you play at a level headed, but not having the experience for the specific fatigue player, for example, is going to be punishing. You could do very well in Swiss, but then the wall that is Jonathan is a pure stat check. Right.
Yeah.
That Brandwood Center Claw we saw pitched from earlier, now played. 3 go again. My next card's Dragonic. Lava Vein Loyalty for 3 go again. Dragonic buff wasted. Energy Potion pitch to play the to swing with the Ember Blade. There's another Clash card. At some point, Jonathan's gonna run out of Clash cards to block for 4. Oh, there's a Blood Drop. Blood Drop, gain a resource, draw a card. What do you do with this?
Yeah, so he still has the Compounding Anger, I believe, in Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Activates Fi. Gets 1 more damage here.
I would have been happier seeing that drop played before swinging the Ember Blade. Decide if it's better to play the Ember Blade or swing or play the Energy Potion.
Oh, interesting. That is true.
Because you would get 1 resource off the Blood Drop, that would be enough to pay for your Phoenix Flame. So depending what the last card in his hand is, it might change everything. I don't know what he drew off the drop.
Jonathan decides to Oldham React here.
Removing the last
Prevent
card in
1.
his hand. Oh, no,
this is an Earth one. Yeah.
Oh, it was Rising Resentment.
Rising Resentment. So, Olivier can potentially leak
5 damage off the Lava Burst.
5 damage here. Nice.
Sorry, Compounding Anger.
Leak 7 at the end of the turn here. Jonathan could block with equipment. I don't think there's a point to it.
He has a chess piece. He still has everything actually except for his blade backer gloves.
Yeah. So Olivier is gonna need to set up another off turn and have a very good on turn push for lethal here. He is getting close, but he's also slowly running out of power cards.
If you've
So,
been paying
let's see what
attention
he
to the
sets up.
pitch shack, this is going to be the second energy potion hand. So, indeed, set up for the big burst damage. How you get there. There is 2 Phoenix Flames in the graveyard. There is a Rise from the Ashes in hand. So you could potentially play this hand correctly so that both Phoenix Flames actually get the +1 value. Leaking 1 damage at a time is how you want to finish this game and keep swinging Phoenix Flame, Ember Blade, Phoenix Flame. And Olivier has 12 HP. Right, counting over the cards left. How many cards is that? I can't count.
I also can't count.
I can only count to 4. That's how it works. My attacks only go to 4.
I can only count to 3. Vincent banishes 1 card, and I have 3 cards left.
You've been playing Vincent recently?
Yeah, preparing for Puerto Yokohama. Playing Vincent for CC. We'll see how it goes.
You're not playing the new Runegate for 4? There's a widespread for 4, the blue one, I believe, Annihilation, or if I'm
The
wrong.
Recess of Existence, that card is broken.
You need to count to 4 sometimes.
Nah.
Imagine counting, Cubi says. All right.
I just see more than 3 rune chants. I know I can play it. I don't know the number.
He sees red. All right. That is Rise from the Ashes. Playing the Phoenix Flame right away. Not sure that is the correct play. Okay, I see the rest of the hand. It's the Hot on Her Heels and a Burning Blade Dance. So none of them had going in except for the Phoenix Flame. That is Ravenous Rabble and Burning Blade Dance pitch to Ember Blade.
All right. He is setting up another.
Oh wait, that was a Rising Resentment in hand. He could have started with the 3 value.
Yeah. I feel like Olivier's starting another pitch check, but this one is a little harder because as both decks thins out, Jonathan is gonna start seeing his cards of Aria appear more and more because both decks are thinner. So this actually setup might be a little too slow to be Jonathan.
Jonathan here just opting to pitch to discard Fruits of the Forest to gain 2 life. We see still 2 block cards in his hand, a Autumn's Touch, and I believe a Chokeslam. So at some point, Jonathan's going to start doing damage. That's Rising Resentment from the Arsenal for 3. There's the Energy Potion we saw from the previous, 3 turns ago that was pitched. Black in hand, there's the Blaze Headlong in hand as well. Or
this is the double Blaze Headlong turn?
Yeah, no, single. One of them was played.
Single one. Oh, it was played last.
He played 1, he pitched 1. So now it's 3 go again. Blaze Headlong for 4. Johnson's just going to block with a 4. 5. Phoenix Flame for 1.
Jonathan still has the Canopy Shelter to Oldham react here. There we go. Covers 1, has 1 prevention floating.
All right. Looks like the other quarter game just finished as well. We have the crowd joining, and the winner was Simon on Fi. Looks like he is speccing this game very intensely right now.
All right, Burning Blade Dance.
Burning Blade Dance for 3. Does not have an on hit.
Let's take 3. Jonathan is aware that probably Olivier's next turn is going to be an off turn, so he can afford to take a little bit of damage, maybe set up Disruption. He knows he's going to draw one of his cards of Aria soon, so he'll be able to disrupt the on turn.
Remember, he pitched Colors of Aria with Oasis Respite, and we haven't seen that hand yet.
Yes,
so he's going to be able to gain 1 life and prevent. So there's Colors of Aria with Staunch Response. The next hand is the one with the Oasis Respite. Johnson's counting the cards from his bottom of his deck, making sure he has the correct pitch. So that is the Staunch Response with the Colors of Aria and the Canopy Shelter.
Yeah, this is 2 turns with cards of Aria Oldham reacting in a row. Which
I'm sorry. Oasis Respite is actually an arsenal.
It is an arsenal.
All right. So Jonathan saw Olivier pitch Energy Potion. He knows there's 2 Energy Potions in the deck. So how much damage can you do, Fi Boy?
Yeah, let's see how much Fi can do here. It is he has 4 cards left in his deck, so make them count, I would say.
I mean, at this point, all you're really searching to do is Emberblade, Phoenix Flame, Emberblade, Phoenix Flame, right? You should just try to deal 3 leak one. So you're going to remove one card from Jonathan's hand and leak one. No, actually, Jonathan can just pitch to Oldham nonstop. So it'd be 2 cards. You would lose 1 card. Jonathan would lose 1 card per turn.
Yeah. Lux 2 with Canopy Shelter makes 1 might, or this is not Florian.
We just had a Florian match. That was a banger match back and forth.
Emberblade for 3.
Has to pitch 2 reds to swing his Emberblade. Colors of Area with the Staunch Response pitched.
Yeah, punished a little bit here.
You have to put your Lava Burst back on top of your deck.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to be a little. I think this is. Yeah, the Fist Chalk is a little bit weird because now he has 2 reds at the bottom. He's gonna draw 2
energy potions in his next
Lava
hand.
Burst with 2 energy potion. Yeah, that's very awkward.
That's not what you want to see. All right, Jonathan deciding if he wants to use that extra 1 resource floating. I think play the Oasis for Spite and swing your hammer for 5 is good. Changing his pitch, saying, I'm pitching exactly instead.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's 2 preventions left. Does he want to waste his prevention, or he wants to take the damage? Looks like he's just going to take the damage over here as the play, and he's going to swing the hammer.
I think Jonathan could also potentially block with his Civic Duty chess piece to give a vigor, because we know next turn has 2 energy potions. Decides to take the 1.
He couldn't take it. It doesn't matter at this point, really.
Yeah, it does not. But maybe like a slight optimization, just like giving the resource on like a very bricked hand, like makes sense here. But since this Titan's Fist for 4, no,
for 5 off the might, and Olivia just takes damage.
True. Staunch Results has a pitch cost.
It does. It wasn't one of the block cards. All right, we're at the second colors in hand. 1 Autumn's Touch, a block card. Oh, lagging.
Ravenous Rabble.
Lagging a little bit over here in the footage that we're getting.
A little technical issues.
This is not the spot you want to be in. Jonathan's counting the cards left in his deck. That's a Burning Blade Dance. Conditional go again. Yeah, the energy potions is in the next hand. We saw them pitch. Reveal Ravenous Rabble for 2. That's not what you want to see. That's not what you want to see. Hey chat, it's cooked. Is it done? Are we seeing Oldham win against Fi? I think he's happy to just send it as raw 7 damage as well. Yep, it was the energy potions back to back. Unfortunately, they were not played or pitched to enable a wider turn. Olivier has been pitching his reds to be able to play a bigger turn, but unfortunately, the energy potion is not on board. Ravenous Rabble did not come for 4. Because he knows there's an energy potion on top deck, so that's why he decided to keep it for next hand. He didn't need the Colors of Aria Den because Ravenous only came in for 2. Right? That is a fruit-suited forest and a look onto horizon. So he has a block 4 in hand, a canopy shelter, and a heal 2 if needed. No, he has no more cards left. He has no more cards left. He has 3 reds or 2 reds from his pitch from last turn. Jonathan's deck is a bit thicker. Oyster Spice was played. I'm not sure what is the arsenals actually. Phoenix Flame bought back. It's gonna be rough because Jonathan every single turn is just gonna keep doing his Colors of Aria, removing the last card. That is going to be that would work, but what happens is that costs you 2 cards to do. Yeah, that would work. That would be his 1 out, but I think how Jonathan does it. There's not enough more damage, so what's going to happen is every turn you're going to swing an Ember Blade that Oldhim is going to block with a card, and Oldhim react to prevent the Phoenix Flame. So at that point, the biggest problem would be, is Jonathan going to be allowed to keep blocking 3? And Jonathan gonna block and send a hammer. He could bring back a Phoenix Flame. So Phoenix Flame can come in for a little 1 damage that he's gonna take chip. Takes a little chip damage. He's happy, and he's gonna throw in the hammer. He's gonna say, "Oh wait, I should have prevented 2 and gained back 2." Going over, saying, "Wait, I have 2 prevention I didn't use." Right, so full little revert, good catch, but you have to be more careful because your opponent can say, "Hey, you forgot to trigger it. Like we wrote down the damage, right?" Lava Burst is blocked. I'm not sure that's the correct play. Now there's just no more damage left. I think he should have just banked the Lava Burst here instead and take the 4 damage. Yeah, so that you can finally do you can whenever Jonathan does a thing, you just Well, unfortunately, there's just no outs left at this point. Color of Area swung for 7, and Jonathan drawing back the other Colors of Area. Phoenix Flame for 0, Amber Blade, And we know what's going to happen over here. Pitching to Oldham, sending Colors Aria again. And the last two cards in Olivia's hand and deck are non-blocks. This bump extended. That was a good back and forth. Very well played. As you mentioned, saw him come from Magic. We know he's a really good player from what we saw. Small little knowledge gaps for specific how to wrap up games like this. But yeah, we're going to see who is the final match. Little notes we got from the producers. The players have opted to have a redistribution of pricing. Simon did play into Jonathan earlier in the Swiss rounds, and he just saw Jonathan fatigue out Olivier. Let's take a quick look at your deck list. Is there anything of note for you in here, QB? Only one Phoenix Flame. Maybe he doesn't have an out. He does have the Ornat Tensen, and he does have the Kunai of Retribution. Let's see what he decides to pile. Oh shit, the players are really fast. We didn't even have time to set it up properly. Simon's already at 17. Macho Grande for 7 dominate. Yeah, what you have to keep in mind is we need to determine the winner. What happens is they change the rules how it works in Fab. Once there is a redistribution of pricing talked about, even if you don't redistribute it, you are no longer allowed to concede. You have to play it out. As a judge, I would say I don't want to see you not play it out because I have to write a report. Just play the Phoenix Flame. Take 4. All right, Simon looks like he's really done with the day. As you guys can see, the sun is pouring into the venue. The sun is setting at this point. It's been a very long day. 6 rounds of Swiss and a top 8. And I guess Simon just really wants to get out of here at this point. Pitches to Phoenix Flame on his opponent's turn. Plays a Phoenix Flame. Okay, Jonathan understood the assignment. He gave his entire hand. The crowd is smashing the table. Judges saying, oh, please put the correct tokens. Everything has been presented to the judge. I think they understood what's happening here, the judges. Simon just passing his turn. All right, Jonathan, show us that fatigue is the way. Here is a Macho Grande. Oh no, I can only block 2, and I am dead. The fizz. Battleground champions. Looks like the pricing was distributed. Jonathan getting his box and PTI, no, not Pro Tour invite, professional tournament invitation. Small differences. And Simon walking away with his first gold foil. He decided to let us see it. So, what could it be? That's his first gold foil? I'm hearing him talk, asking for something good, and the crowd goes wild. Sorry, I had to mute it. They were in French. I don't think people want to hear that, joking aside. Both and Boots. Not a bad pull. New card from Compendium. More play in the future. Let's call it a wrap. That was Battleground Silver Goblin, the first in Canada. We have Jonathan taking the crown with Oldham here. Next, Eyes. Eyes next on Shanghai. That's happening in the weekend right before Pro Tour. And guys, leave some comments. Share some love. Cubi, I'm going to put in your Twitter in the bio. And guys, we would love to share some pics of us in Yokohama. Send us some love. Any closing statements, QB? mean, hopefully, you have to say, I'm going to top 8. First, it was our good buddy Leo, next buddy Jimmy, and now it's you, right? Or join the judge bracket. Jokes aside, thanks for watching again. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what we can do better. There's definitely things to do better. And our good friends, Silver Goblin, gave us a discount code. Use it down below for your first order. Much appreciated. This is all signing off.